Hello, everyone. Let me drop that. Let me drop that here. I think we're good. Hello, everyone.
All right. You were going to check your mic real quick, just for a second.
That here. I think we're good.
All right.
It's
You were
gonna
going to check your
echo
mic
for a
real
second.
quick, just for a second. Okay. I'll just wait until you do your quick check. All right. You
It's
were going
gonna
to check your
echo
mic
for a
real
second.
quick.
Mic
Yep.
check,
Sounds
mic
good.
check.
I'll just wait
Okay.
until you do your quick
Yeah,
check.
I think we're good here. So I'm gonna. Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's just gonna echo back and forth, and so I wanted to do that as little as possible. But I think it sounds good. I just gotta
Cool.
not get so excited.
Here we are. All right. So last week we started off in the town of River Bend, and our players here happened to get acquainted with the town a little bit. Renmer and Eva did some sparring a little bit to start it off, and separated the group. Renmer went and worked out some deals with some guards after they talked to a merchant. Eva went and tried to get supplies from Old Man Greg, mildly successfully. Garrick lost his macaw, and Meek was Meek. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're not wrong.
So, anyways, but when we left off, Eva had talked to her family before leaving, and Renmer was going to talk to his, and that's where we left off.
Yes.
So Renmer, do we want to do introductions first?
That's fine. Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
Let's start top left and then work our way around. So let's start with Paul.
Okay. Garrick Gladstone. Garrick is a, how do we put it? He's a individual who loves his freedom, loves his pet macaw, and loves making a profit wherever possible. While he's, reluctantly noble, he is not afraid to get his hands dirty if there's a decent profit involved. And as far as looking at him, he's just nondescript. He's just an average height, average weight, average build. Tries not to stand out very much, except for the big, colorful parrot on his shoulder, and just enjoys drinking and having a good time.
All right, next let's go to Eva.
Hello, I'm Cornelius. I'm playing Eva, the eventual paladin. I don't think she's quite figured that out yet. Very dedicated to what she does. She loves swords play. She thinks the practice is fascinating. She grew up in the home of a blacksmith and soldier, and because of that has some very interesting hobbies for someone of, I guess, not really noble birth, but definitely noble stature right now. And she's wanting to go off on her first adventure, so we'll see how that all goes.
Next up is Meek.
Hello, I'm Lady Tiefling, and I'll be playing Meek, the trash gremlin tiefling, who doesn't really understand her sorcerer powers. And yeah, Meek is Meek.
There you go.
Forgot to fix that overlay this week. I'll get it next week. And next up is Renmer.
Renmore is everyone's favorite, prospect fresh out of high school, getting his first taste of combat. Not really sure what he's expecting, but he's generally a pretty good guy. He is just half orc, raised in a very martial society, grew up in his dad's training yard, learning the ways of all sorts of different weapons, doing the thing that he was raised to do, and has never been in a real fight before.
Excellent. And then I am Juce. I'm the host of Master the Game, and I am our Dungeon Master tonight. So with that, let's cut over to Renmer and what he is doing at his house and how he wants to go about letting his family know that he is about to leave on an adventure.
Well, the encounter that he had with Grona last night kind of ruined his day. And that combined with the fact that he's actually going to be heading out to like go do a fight, he slept like garbage. He spent a lot of the night up, like just kind of sharpening his weapons, like putting a really nice edge on him. He cleaned his armor like 4 times over before he finally fell asleep, like at the desk. And then woke up like way too early, put on his chainmail, didn't go for the fancy clothes today, just like threw a simple sort of tabard with his dad's school's logo on the front of it. And it was like downstairs eating breakfast when his parents were waking up, sort of deal. So he's just kind of down at the table eating, like getting ready to head out. And when his parents come down.
So when his parents come down, his father's probably last to come down. Obviously being the gentleman and the honorable one that he is, even though he is a half orc, he would probably let his wife go down the stairs first. As he comes down after her, he notices in Renmer that he looks a little uneasy. He's got bags under his eyes, and he turns to you and says, "What's the trouble, son?"
Father, I have signed my first contract. I'm off to confront some highwaymen. They have been making sport of some merchants on the road, and I secured a charter from Lord Viserion. Is that the name?
Yes.
All right, Lord Viserion, to clear the bandits off the road.
I had hoped I would never see this day. I wanted you to just settle down and find a nice half-orc woman. But I guess I knew it was going to happen ever since you were a young lad. You and those practiced swords, and you took to training really well. I just hope you do the name proud.
And like kind of taps the logo, and it's just like, I shall, Father. Is it normal to be this nervous before the fight?
It is. You're going to experience a lot of stuff. I haven't prepared you for everything, but some things there's just no preparing a son for.
Yeah, he kind of like running his thumb on his sword, kind of looking down at the floor, and just kind of like, I shall do you proud, Father. And he just kind of like stands up and straightens his shoulders. He goes, they'll be expecting me.
There's one more thing before you go. I heard from a friend that King Aelrim, the Gold Dragon, the Lord of the Skies, might be ill. He hasn't been seen in the skies patrolling the countryside for quite some time now. Don't know what is going to happen. I don't know how severe it is, but for him not to be patrolling his own kingdom is odd. So be careful out there.
I shall be cautious, Father, just as you taught me.
All right. Is there anything you would like to do before you leave your house?
I gather up like all my like gear and things like that, and I think he was like ready to go. This was the last thing he wanted to do, and then like he wanted to get through that and then just like go out the door.
Okay. So your father won't stop you. You can see that there's a little bit of an uneasy look on his face. He asks you, how long do you think you'll be gone?
A week at most. If it's more than a week, then and he just kind of trails off.
If you're gone for more than 7 or a 10 day, I will send someone out for you.
Thank you, Father.
Where are you going exactly?
West of town.
Okay.
He
actually, it probably would have been east. I think I said west last time. I meant east.
Okay, so yeah, east of town, Father, of course. And like on his way out, he just kind of gives his mom a big hug on the way out.
She gives you a very firm hug, as half-orc women do. Very strong and sturdy.
Yeah, Renmore just out the door, like before it can get any more. Like, yeah, he's just out. Just
as you head out, you see the merchant that you had seen in the tavern the previous day. He looks really hungover. He's in very, very clean clothes. Appears to be outfitted with some nice jewelry that he did not have the previous day. And he tips his cap to you and says, is there anything else you need before you go?
What was his name? I don't have it in my notes.
That is a great question. I don't remember.
Yeah, well, his name, I kind of like give him.
Someone knows. Someone's about to say it.
Wait, I know I wrote it down. The merchant guy, right?
Yes.
Peter?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Pieter.
Rook and the
sorry.
Raven notebook.
I wrote
coming
it Peter,
through.
but it's Pieter.
No problem.
Someone takes better notes than I do.
Yes.
Which isn't.
I was like, my moment has come. I wrote notes.
Yes.
I only have the one doc open with my prep notes. I don't have my notes from the last session open. So that's my I'm like, oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, so Pieter asks you if you need anything before you head out.
We are about to head out, Pieter. Is there anything else you can recall about the attack? Any numbers and composition of their forces? Anything that could be helpful?
I was one of 6 merchants. There were 10 total of us with the mercenaries. We each had our own wagon. There were 6 wagons.
Do you remember what they looked like? You said they were covered in mud. Do you remember, were they human, orc, half orc?
Yeah, I mean, we clearly, and he points at himself, clearly we are all high elves. We're
I'm
high
the
elf
attackers.
Them? I don't quite remember. I mean, they were in dark clothes. And he's got like bags under his eyes as well. He's clearly, hungover. He says they were in dark clothes. It was so quick. And they, like I said, they killed our mercenaries before we even had a chance to see them. And they got us facing away from the road. And so I know I ran when I felt like I had the first chance. I don't really know. They took us out. They took out our mercenaries with arrows, if that helps.
It does. Thank you. And Renmore just kind of like abruptly walks away.
All right. So as you're heading over towards where you were going to meet everybody, I think you guys said you're going to meet by the school or the training yard. Eva, Meek, and Garrick, what are you guys doing?
I'm just following along to where, I guess I'd just be following along with Eva because I was with her.
Okay. When I get up, is Kraken there?
So 2 things. I want a Constitution check. And then I
was waiting for that.
and then I want a survival check. And the survival check's for your bird.
That Constitution check's a 2 for me.
Okay, so you're going to suffer for the day 1 level of exhaustion.
Picking up right where we left off.
But Kraken got a nat 20 for a 21 on his survival.
Oh, dude, as soon as you walk out the door, Kraken, like, within a second, swoops down to you and perches right where you want him on your shoulder. Not like he was here the whole time.
Kraken, you're very colorful. Please, just no screeching this morning. Oh,
bird.
God.
Good bird.
All right. So yeah, 1 level of exhaustion. I'm not even exactly sure on those rules, so I was going to pull that up. But
disadvantage on skill checks right now. And
that's what it is at the first level of it. Okay. So just disadvantage on skill checks. Okay. Eva.
Yes.
What would you be doing?
Well, Eva would already have been awake. She had a bit of a brief discussion with her father about leaving, which she was granted his blessing to do so. It really wasn't what he wanted to hear, but there's really no stopping her at this point. So once she's finished, once she finished up there, she would have gone back upstairs, made sure that she had all of her things together, and really just kind of hung out for a little bit. She's gonna let Meek sleep because we have a long journey ahead of us.
And
Meek sleeps very well.
Yeah, I would have slept in until the absolute last second. As soon as you were like, we're walking out the door, I would have jumped up and been like, okay.
And it, like, if you didn't see us last week, or if you didn't remember from last week, like, Meek doesn't sleep on a bed. I had to make her like a nest of blankets and pillows and stuff on the floor next to my bed. It was super adorable, and at the same time, I have no idea how to handle this.
Me neither. Meek doesn't know either.
All right. So, what did you do with the ring that your father gave you, Ava?
I don't think she would have immediately put it on.
Okay.
Because this has been in her family for several generations, from what her father just told her when he gave it to her. She doesn't really know if it does anything, or if it's just been some, kind of family heirloom, and she's not sure if she wants to wear it just yet. Whether that's because of a sense of like worthiness or something to that effect, she's not sure yet. So she hasn't actually put it on yet. I think when she goes back upstairs to make sure that she has everything together, she kind of sets it on her bedside table with any of the other important I'm not gonna forget this type of stuff, so that she'll grab it on the way out.
Okay, good. Okay, so as you guys leave and you're heading to meet up with Renmer, you also see Pieter walking by, and he nods to you and he says, "Oh, I just saw your friend Renmer." And as he says that, he, you can see he like has to hold back from, puking up his breakfast, and he says, "Oh, pardon me. Is there anything else I can assist you with? Is there anything you need before you go?"
I'm sorry.
Nothing I need.
Okay. Then he will tip his cap and he will be on his way. You guys catch up with Renmer. He's over at the yard, I'll call it, and he looks very tired. You can see his face is all droopy. His eyes have bags under them. And his posture is not as good as you would expect a fine warrior like him to have today. If you guys want to RP anything before you go, or we can just jump to the travel.
Renmer. Oh, you look like garbage. Did dreams of Corona keep you up all night too?
You just see Renmore back. You wanted to talk. How are you feeling this morning?
Well,
Your bird has returned.
Yes, he has. I'm not feeling the best, but a little bit of fresh air will cure that. So
Did your bird find the boat?
I have no clue. I didn't ask him. I just don't want him to speak right now, to be honest with you. So if Kraken found the boat, he can mimic, so he can say certain things.
How good is your bird at communicating with you, I would say?
Well, I mean, he's not
basic commands only.
Yeah, I mean, he's got basic animal. Well, essentially, he's as smart as a very smart parrot would be. So,
Okay.
I mean, but mimicry allows him to essentially say things he's heard before. So he's going to have basic communication, and he understands English or common just fine. So
Sure. Rat, food, want food.
Smarter than the average
No
bird.
food.
No food. Oh, man. Do we
He's
happen
that
to have any
good.
fruit?
Sure.
I'd
You would
really-
have probably the same amount of rations you have for yourself. You basically have what he would eat as well.
Okay, yeah, I'd probably just hand him a couple of little pieces of, dried fruit. he would eat him more as a snack because he's not really a bird.
Gotcha.
So he'd basically enjoy it, but not really has no real necessity for it.
Gotcha. He will probably so he would also be like dead perch, dead perch, dead perch,
Dead perch.
dead perch,
Dead fish everywhere? What?
dead perch, perch. No boat.
No boat. No boat. Okay. Well, no boat means that he didn't find the boat. So
So do we wish to travel by road or cut across country then?
well, if we could take the boat, I would say to try that. But if we can't, then I really don't want to trudge through the woods that much. So how about we take the trail?
This is a river town. Are there other boats available?
You could probably try to check. I mean, wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. Could we afford one? I have like 3 gold. I have
don't
3
think
gold
there's
to my
a
name.
river that goes to the merchant ambush site, according to
I
the
mean,
updated map.
I mean,
Would we
there's
technically have that?
The map?
Yeah.
You would know roughly where the area is. In fact, you guys knew that that area was kind of muddy. The merchant the previous night would have probably tried to tell you, and your familiarity with the area would probably help.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about maybe, 50 miles on the trail. But if you were to try and cut through the woods, you're probably talking about 40. Well, it'd be probably a little less than that. Each hex was 10 miles.
Right.
So we could go down the river and then through the woods to come from the other side.
As opposed to over the river and through the woods.
And through the woods. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a rowboat, like something simple, is going to be like 50 gold pieces. But if you're digging in for like a bigger boat, something that would have a sail, something that might be a little bit easier to navigate longer periods, we would be looking at more. Could be 1,000, could be 3,000 gold pieces. A cheap, like they've got magic boats that are about 500. Or plus that you can get that are kind of like, you can pack it into a bag, stuff like that. So, I mean, you're talking for any sort of a decent boat that would handle all of us together, you're probably talking at least several hundred gold pieces.
Is that to buy it?
Yeah, if we were to buy it.
One? Or pay somebody to take us upriver? Because we
might be able to just pay someone to take us upriver.
Yeah.
Which that could essentially take us around the backside.
Yeah.
And so the river, so you guys know, does go towards Valkar Keep. And that is the direction also that those roads go. It splits off at one point. But the direct path along the river would be towards Valkar Keep.
Chat, if you don't mind, I'm going to throw up a picture of the map for a second.
Yep, that'd be cool.
So for those of you in chat, here's the map that we keep referring to.
Yeah, so it looks like, I mean, there's prices in the book to buy them. So you guys could try to haggle and rent a boat if you wanted to.
What do our funds look like, party? I have 3 gold currently.
Oh, I'm richer than you. I have 10 gold.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I have like 10.
Yeah, I'm not very liquid right now.
Now, Juce, I actually meant to ask you this before before we started the night. It just slipped my mind. Being from a noble family, I elected that. I know Eva herself would choose to live more, I guess, frugally. She's not just like going out and spending top dollar on everything.
Sure.
But I did elect to live, you know, kind of a comfortable lifestyle. So what would you say? What would you say would give me a number for that?
Like how much gold you have on you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you buy your stuff or did you do the equipment?
I did the equipment.
So I would say what you don't have in gold, you probably could promise in like, you know, possible arrangements later on, like whether it's lands or something along those lines.
Okay.
But you don't really have any directly tied to you. It's more like possibly an inheritance at some point. So, you know, it might be kind of hard to negotiate those things. But I would probably say you have like 3 to 5 gold as well, just like Renmer.
Okay.
At this time, you know.
No, I was gonna say I had more. I burned all my gold on my armor.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And you got chain and stuff, right?
Yeah, I have chainmail. Like I burned all
both of
my
you, I
money
think,
on
did.
my armor. I had like over 100 gold. I just burned it all on armor.
Right. Yeah, so I would assume it'd be about the same. So yeah, between the 4 of you, you have probably 30 gold, we'll say.
Okay. I mean, I can probably go get some for my family, or you know, get something sellable.
Let's just travel the roads, and then when we get closer, we can cut through the woods a little bit closer. But I feel like if we do end up taking the river, then we're eventually going to need to have our way back, and we're going to have somebody else kind of figure out, you know, where to drop us off and everything else, and then we might get stuck in an area where we're not near a road. Plus, you know, we might end up coming across someone on the road that's useful. So, I would like to say, you know, if we're not going to navigate the river ourselves, don't waste money on it. Let's just move along the roads and you know, keep our funds for later.
Well, if we could find someone to like rent the boat, I only say that because I think it's going to be quicker going the river and through the woods, and if it's time sensitive with people on the line, that maybe that would be a good option to try to get there as quickly as possible. On the way back, we don't really need to worry about time so much. But either way, I'm fine with. That's just the only thing that was on my mind, was trying to get there faster.
Yeah, well, I look at it as no one's paying us to get there faster.
Well,
so,
that's true. That's true.
So at this point, it's, you know, if we get there in 2 days or we get there in 3 days, I don't think that it's going to make a big difference. But if we end up having to pay 10 gold pieces is, you know, a good chunk of coin. You know, that would essentially leave Renmer, you know, if he's paying his share, essentially broke. So we should just.
10 gold pieces is my life savings. This is the most I've had in my entire life, and that's all of it.
Yeah. So yeah, I would normally say let's just save the money, and you know, the only thing that we're risking is traveling along a well-traveled road, and if there's, you know, encounters along the way, hopefully they're good, and if not, then, you know, Kraken will deal with them.
Sounds good.
Right. So just so you guys know, you would think that if you went off the path, you could do it in under 2 days, as long as you don't get lost. Whereas if you do it over the road, you could do it under 3 days, but your chances of getting lost are very slim because there's only one road between here and there.
I'm decent at navigating. Decent, not great. But I'm going to say I'm not decent at doing anything today. So I would until I get a little more rest, I'm more likely to get us lost than get us to the right place. So I would rather not risk it.
How
Personally.
I'm agreeable to going on the road so long as we are mindful of the fact that an ambush could be awaiting us.
How familiar would I be with the surrounding area? I mean, I would think I've been here most of my life and probably gone exploring as a kid.
Eva and Renmer, you guys are familiar with the general, like, at least 1 to 2 days out through the woods kind of thing. beyond that, though, you haven't really traveled out beyond there.
So then I like, yeah, that bend in the road where the woods kind of jut out into the road. That region would be kind of like one that we know a little bit. Like we're like the hex to the bottom left of the ambush site.
Yeah, you would be.
Yeah. Okay. Like
you've been out to there. You've basically been out to the swamps there. Those
I'd be
dark
okay.
purple.
I'd be okay walking the road till we get to that hex, and then cutting through that hex to try to sneak up on him.
Well, that's just the ambush site because we don't know where they went from there.
Yeah, but like to start not being like that stretch of road might be their preferred. Like we don't know where on the road they might be setting their next ambush. So just to get off the road once we start getting into the like general region.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right, so you guys are going to stick to the road, and then about one hex away, the one that connects to it, or the one underneath that of the road, the 2 hexes away road. You thinking the 2 hexes away? That's where you're going to.
I'd say the one that bends. The one there's the 3 running along the bottom of the hex grid, and then there's the one that bumps up to the next row. I'd say that's the last stretch of road we walk, and then after that we duck into the woods.
Okay.
Is everyone okay with that? Like.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, that works for me.
If we had the boat, I would just say then it's free to take it. But if we don't have it, like let's just go along the road.
Yeah,
sure.
Right.
Okay. So you guys would start walking on the road. It's pretty hard and firm when you start your journey. You started relatively early, and around midday. Because there's not a lot of trees in this part. You're basically out in the sunlight right now. The sun's just beating down on you guys. You probably slow your pace a little due to the heat and the massive sweat. I'm assuming everyone's fully armored. And Renmer.
I'm as armored as a guy with a bird can be.
Or actually, I'm sorry, not Renmer. Meek, once you guys start getting into more of a dense forest, give me a wisdom save, Meek.
That is sorry, 1 second. D&D on. -1, so 9.
Okay. No problem. Garrick, so you're at disadvantage today because of the exhaustion. What is your passive perception normally?
It would be 21.
21. Okay. So with disadvantage, it would be 16. Okay.
Yep.
What is your guys' marching order? Just so I have a good idea of how you guys are walking down the road and stuff together.
I am in the location that is most convenient for running away.
All right. So the back, maybe?
Maybe.
I would be close behind, either between or close behind Renmar and Eva. Seeing them like fight, I'm like, I'm behind them so they can shield me.
Okay. Renmar's probably up front, like absent-mindedly, like kind of twirl cutting his short sword.
So maybe like 2 by 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so Eva and Renmar in the front, maybe?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that as well, because I would imagine I know this road like the back of my hand.
Okay. So as you guys are walking, like I said, so start to see more trees and stuff, and because of the time of the day with the canopy of trees, it's a little bit darker, but you can still see perfectly fine. Garrick, out of the corner of your eye, with Meek to your right, you quickly see an image of a humanoid above Meek, about 3 feet above her head. But when you actually turn your head to look, it's not there.
Oh, that was good stuff last night. Okay. Interesting. Would I happen to have any inkling of what that would be, or just something odd I noticed?
Give me an insight roll.
Let's see here. With disadvantage, that would be a 5.
All right. So you think you're just seeing things because you're still a little drunk. Maybe you blinked at a weird moment and an eyelash or something just looked like something out of the corner of your eye. All right. So you get to travel some more, and it's starting to get dark. The road is a little bit softer from it raining, sprinkling the previous day. It's not quite muddy, but you can tell like you're leaving footprints now. Well, not all of you, just the two in the heavy armor up front are. You two in the back are probably not leaving footprints. And I'm assuming you can either travel a little bit longer with some source of light. Otherwise, whoever can't see is going to need some sort of light source, or you're going to have to stop.
Is anyone who's human in the group?
I am.
Oh man, that's unfortunate.
Need to get you some goggles.
Yeah.
Night quick.
Hold on, because I believe I can. Do I have dark vision? Where's that on D&D Beyond? Yeah, I have dark vision. So
Everyone except for the human.
that's usually how it goes.
I know.
That's how I like it. So I mean I do have torches, so I could take a torch for a little bit if we want to continue on.
I would be fine too with as soon as the sun goes down, we just camp and wake up as soon as the sun rises in the morning.
I would let you guys travel 3 hexes if you decided to travel with a light source at night.
I would prefer not to travel with a light source. I think.
Okay, so you could go 2.5.
I would say I think it would be better to make camp. Let's not advertise our presence.
Sure.
Unnecessarily.
Okay, so you guys make it to
I was gonna say I want to make sure the rest of the group's cool with that. I don't want to make the decision unilaterally.
I'm perfectly cool with camping. So
Okay.
So the third trail into the map is when you guys decide to pack it in for the night. How are you guys setting up your campsite? Are you doing it right on the road? Are you doing it off into the woods, north of the road, south of the road?
Under some cover in the woods a little bit.
Yeah, Eva would have immediately suggested to get off the road.
Yeah. Get off.
Where we can have the road in eyesight, but far enough in that we could maybe throw some brush over the tent to try to hide it a little bit.
Okay. How are you guys doing your watches? Are you doing watches? If you are, is the person staying in the tent? Are they leaving the tent?
I am doing sleeping tonight.
I can do a watch. I'll do first watch and I'll sit outside the tent. Since I have dark vision, I'll just sit outside in the dark and just keep sharpening the sword. Just definitely not a crutch. He totally needs it.
Is Garrick also going to do a watch, or is he going to just sleep the whole time?
Garrick needs to ditch this exhaustion.
Yeah, he's got to sleep it off.
I've got to sleep it off. I'm too wrecked. That 2 Constitution save did me in.
So I'll assume everyone's doing a 3-hour watch then, probably.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do that.
So who's
doing the second watch?
I can do the second watch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then are you going to leave the tent as well, just like Renmer was?
Yeah, I will, and I'll kind of I'll probably be like super paranoid and freaked out because I'm in the dark at night. And I have dark vision, but it's still just scary. So I'll just be kind of like sitting restlessly and then standing up, pacing around restlessly, like circling the tent a couple times, like just very jittery the whole time.
So you said that you rolled a 9 on your wisdom, right?
I did. I'm not good at this.
Okay, this is perfect. So if Courtney wants to put up the other picture I sent her, you can put that up right now.
Oh no!
As you're walking
Are
around,
we to that already?
Oh yeah. As you're walking around, and I rolled for this, so this isn't like I singled anybody out. As you walk around the tent, you you freeze. Okay. And you see walking at you, starting really small, walking at you between the trees, this image of this skeletal creature with like a hood and a staff with twigs and like what looks like petrified snakes wrapped around it, and a skull on the edge of the stick.
Oh, good.
And as it gets closer to you, you want to, like, you try to scream, but you're paralyzed, like, with fear. And you open your mouth to scream and nothing comes out. It grabs your hand and pulls it up and slices your hand. The blood starts to drip, and it holds a vial under your hand, and your hand's just there. You can't move it. And it captures your blood in this vial and caps it. And then it just disappears.
Did this happen
Okay.
as soon as I came out for my watch?
No, it probably
or was
happened
it-
about middle of your watch.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
What?
And I would even say for a few more minutes, you still are just in this like stuck. It's like
Yeah.
you're just extremely tight. Every muscle in your body is just, you know, tense. Think of like a Charlie horse
Charlie
through your
horse?
whole body. Yes, a Charlie horse through your whole body. You're just cramped up and you can't move. And but eventually, like, you feel it let go one muscle at a time.
As soon as that happens, and I'll like stand there like in disbelief for a little bit, and then I don't think I'd be able to finish my watch after that. I'd probably go back into the tent and wake up Eva like with tears in my eyes and be like, "You gotta take over from now." Like blood on my hands, like like I'd put them on my face, like in shock, and then I just wake you up with all this blood everywhere. Like, something happened. I can't do this anymore.
What happened? And I'm like I'm trying to like check where the blood is coming from and everything. And like I'm immediately just like bolt awake, and I'm going like full almost mommy mode, I guess, and trying to figure out like what's going on and what I need to do.
A skeleton came and took my blood in a vial. Why would it want that?
I'm assuming this wakes the rest of us up too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
you're
not
all
being-
up. Even
yeah.
Garrick.
Sorry.
Bolt upright, like short sword in the hand, just like what? Meek?
Oh no.
What is it?
No. And so like I'm like trying to go through my bag and find something to like I would assume you would have like shown me that it was your hand that was bleeding, and I probably catch from your description what actually happened. And so I'm just like going through my bag trying to find something to stop the blood. I don't think I have any healer's kits directly on me, but I would figure I know enough from my dad's war stories to at least know how to make a simple tourniquet.
What did you see?
He held a skull, and it was gross and terrible. It was a blue skeleton man. And
What did he cut you with?
What did he cut me with? I don't remember.
It would be the staff. It has a sharper edge to it. We'll see.
Can I take a look at the wound to see if there's any like weirdness going on with it?
I'll give you my hand.
Yeah.
Actually, it will say that it cut you with its nails on its
Okay.
finger.
But like,
That makes more sense.
does the wound look unusual or strange in some way?
So it looks to you like what you would imagine some cultures would do to like have like a blood bond, like where they just cut their hand and then they like hold hands together.
Okay.
So, and you would know that there are some cultures, more like tribal cultures, that do that kind of thing. But yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go outside and like check the perimeter while they go ahead, and I'm just out of the scene.
I'll go ahead and ask her, what she can remember. Just try to get details, just so I can see if maybe it's something I've heard of before.
Okay. Roll a history check. At disadvantage.
Yeah, I know.
Damn it.
All of these 16s keep turning into 5s, so it's a second 16 that's turned into a 5. So
You think you've
Wait,
heard
no,
of...
I'm sorry. I looked at the wrong one. No, that was actually dual 13, so that's a 17. Haha.
Oh, that's not bad.
I looked at the wrong one that rolled. It was the same. Like, how to get 5 again?
So you you would have thought the same thing that Renmer was thinking of. You know of some cultures that do things like this, but they're not anywhere near here.
Right.
And, so it seems very odd to you. Beyond that, the description of the creature, the person, does not ring a bell to you. Skeletons are not something we see around here. Undead is very uncommon around here. But being that you're not from around here, you have seen and heard them in other parts of the world.
Okay. I mean, anything specifically about a skeleton with a skull that carries a skull with them that might be blue? That sounds very distinct.
Being that you're from C, probably not.
No? Okay.
No. Nothing you're familiar with.
All right.
All right. So then,
do I find any like tracks or marks that it left?
Yeah. So give me a survival check.
All right.
We're rolling a lot of dice tonight.
Well, while he's doing that, I'm gonna tell Kraken to watch Meek tonight while she's sleeping, and then I'll tell her I don't know what exactly it is we're looking for, but if it comes back, we'll kill it, and then I just go back to sleep.
Feel a little bit better.
All right, so Renmer's going to be trying to check for tracks. It is nighttime, so I will say disadvantage on those checks, by the way.
Dark vision help?
Yeah, because it's not a color-based thing. You're right.
So it's a 11.
You see some faint tracks where Meek said she was walking to. Because the ground is softer, you see some kind of scratch marks that look like maybe a dragging of some feet. However, about 10 feet away from you, where Meek said that it came from originally, they just vanish. Basically, it looks like it showed up, it walked, and then it vanished where Meek was.
Yeah, just kind of like look off the forest and just, I don't like this. And just turn back into the tent and just be like, it's gone, whatever it was. Eva, are you good to take over watch, or do you want me to take the rest of Meek's watch?
I'll wave him off. So I I know she's older than this, but I just imagine Eva like picking Meek up and setting her down next to her, like in a spare bedroll, and like after I've wrapped her hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, I've got it. And then she'll venture out of the tent.
Just
set the short sword down within grabbing distance and lay back down. Well, of course I would assume we've like put it out. Was there a fire? Did we build a fire, or
that'd be a good question
bother?
for you guys.
I didn't think we did, but we might have.
I assume the fire would have been out, but
I think if we did, we would have put it out. I mean,
if I was on first watch, I would have definitely doused it because I have dark vision, so I would have just sat there in the darkness, watching it, and then I left Meek in the darkness,
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. In that case, I'm probably not going to be pacing. I will exit the tent, but I'm probably sitting just outside the tent, maybe like leaning on a tree or something that's nearby. But just keeping an ear out and, glancing around every now and then.
Give me a perception hearing check.
Oh shit. Did I tell you how not good at perception I am? Ooh, hello. That's a 17.
Okay, so you hear from the direction that Meek said that thing came from, you do hear scratching on a tree. It sounds like it's about 30 feet out.
You said scratching?
You're muted.
Well, I'm muted in Zoom, but not OBS. Did you say scratching?
Yeah, like a scratching sound on a tree.
Oh. How far away?
About 30 feet. And trees aren't like abundant, but they're, every, 10 feet or so, there's another tree.
Yeah. Okay. So the way it sounds is it's on the opposite side of the tent that I'm on, I think.
Sounds like that.
Oh dear. That's I'm not for that. I'm not for it at all. I do not like that. Let's see here. Okay. So, using my dark vision, I'm going to try to stealth closer.
Okay. Do a stealth check at disadvantage. You're in chainmail, right?
I'm actually not. I'm in I'm in a breastplate.
Then you're not at disadvantage.
Not that it matters anyway, because I rolled a fucking 1.
So you're sneaking up. I'm assuming you have your weapon drawn. Do you have a shield? Okay, so you're sneaking up.
I don't have a shield, but I do have the rapier out.
Okay, so you have a rapier. You know there's a tree right here, and you're kind of inching around it, and the next tree is where you're hearing the sound come from. And it's a tree like, probably 2-3 feet wide. And as you get up to it, you put your hand on it, and you look around, and all of a sudden it jumps out at you. It's a little tiny red squirrel just scratching a hole into the tree, trying to burrow into it. It scares your character just scares the crap out of him how it comes around and then scurries up the tree, though.
Instead of a red herring, it's a red squirrel. This is fine. Come on. Could I, just for the fun of it, I want to make an handle handling check.
Okay.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Never mind.
What'd you roll?
No.
I mean, I might as well get all these ones out now.
Was it a 1 on the die?
Yeah, it was.
So you got bit by the squirrel.
I rolled 2 nat ones in a row. I bet what happened is, like, when I put my hand on the tree, I touched its tail and freaked it out, and it bit me.
There you go. No, you don't take any damage, but the scratch is not comfortable.
Ouch. And I'll probably suck on my finger for a second, mumbling curses to myself in other languages as I come back to the tent.
The rest of your watch is uneventful.
I'm so upset. 2 fucking nat ones in a row. God damn it.
The sun comes up, but as the sun comes up, it's behind cloud cover. It's a gloomy morning. Lots of fog starts to permeate, and you can smell that it smells like it's possibly going to rain. It's very humid, damp.
This is fine. This is my favorite kind of weather. Eva loves this shit.
And everyone slowly starts to wake up. And I don't know if you told them about the squirrel or not, but yeah.
Nah. Need to know basis.
There you go.
It's above their pay grade.
So what is everyone going to do in the morning?
Ramor does a little workout routine with the swords. Got to find some space and just go through some of the practice cuts and everything. Just make sure everything's feeling loose for the day. Maybe spends a little bit longer on it than he should, but kind of zones for a little bit.
Okay.
I pull out a dusty, tattered book and just spend some time perusing through it.
I sleep in until the last possible second.
Meek, while you were sleeping, you have terrible nightmares. Give me a wisdom save.
Oh, I'm great at those.
Beat a 15.
Oh, -1, that's a 6.
Okay.
No.
Oh my god! The face
no.
of this creature is etched into your mind, to the point where even when you're awake, you feel like you can still see it as though it's right there, even though it's not. It's clearly a skull, right, with glowing blue eyeballs. They're very like piercing blue. You can also see through its nostrils. You can see kind of like a light. Again, it's like a white light, very faint inside of its skull.
That I see through its nostrils. That's like in its skull. This white.
Yeah, like up into its head, behind its eyes.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
As you are getting ready in the morning and trying to wake up, you can also feel where the cut is, like a pulsing through your hand, starting from one end and going to the other of the pain from just like remembering exactly how it felt as your skin tore open. And yeah, so that's your morning. You are going to suffer a level of exhaustion today.
Okay.
Garrick, you are probably all better since you weren't drinking yesterday. So you have recovered from your exhaustion.
Okay.
And
so also I wanted to point out I got the two mixed up. I have a 20 passive perception, a 21 passive investigation. So
gotcha. Okay.
Not bad.
Right? that's really damn good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask you to quiet down, Garrick. You're showing up the rest of us and making us look bad.
With all those awesome rolls he's doing.
Stats.
Fuck you and your 20 passive perception. The fucking 11. So mad.
What does Renmer and Meek have for passive perception?
My passive is a 10.
Mine
10?
is a 9.
Okay,
that
awesome.
is
Oh, okay.
that is
My
why
wisdom-
I have that passive perception.
I remembered you saying that.
I looked at everybody. I'm like, we're gonna die if someone can't spot this stuff. So
I'm gonna die.
My wisdom is my third highest stat at a +0. So
Atta bitch. Please.
+0, third highest.
yes, there. Yeah.
Wow, that's bad.
I rolled I rolled the perfect fighter roll. I rolled 2 good stats, and that's all you need to be a fighter.
there you go. That is true.
That's true.
It's not wrong.
That's hilarious. Okay, so I'm assuming you have some negatives. I'll have to look at your character sheet. I haven't even looked at yours. I'm terrible. I haven't looked at anyone's. Shoot. Awful. All right, so, which is not like me when I prep. But anyways, so you guys get to traveling again.
Actually,
do me a favor.
actually, before we start,
Yeah.
I would have, once Meat got up, I would have checked her hand. I wanted to check her hand. So when I look at it, does it look like just a typical cut? Am I looking at does it seem to be like infected or anything like that?
Right now, it just looks like it was a normal cut. It doesn't look infected or anything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all.
So here's what
It's
I wanted.
not bleeding anymore.
It's not.
No.
Okay. So I'm going to take like I don't know if I have. I probably wouldn't have anything. Again, like I said, I don't have like a healer's kit or anything like that. So I would probably try to find something to wrap around it just to keep it covered. I don't know if you would have me roll a nature check if I wanted to try to like use leaves or something like that. Use my.
Okay. Do you want to try to find like a leaf or something?
Yes.
I think is
do.
fine. Okay. Roll a nature check. Yeah.
That will be a 16.
Okay. Yeah, you find a pretty big leaf, and you wrap it around there, and you might have like a little piece of rope in your pocket or something that you can kind of help tie it around her hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll secure that there the best I can, and yeah, I mean that's really all I can do right now. It's kind of a field dressing, I guess, is what we can call that.
Right.
Beak is just like teary-eyed and like grateful as you do this.
Oh,
Like,
are you
no
alright?
one's been so kind to me.
Well, just try to keep that on there, okay? Just try to keep that on there. Don't move it around very much. We'll want to keep an eye on that.
As soon as Eva turns away, she starts like fiddling and picking at it.
Oh god damn it.
Doesn't doesn't move it, but like the edges of the leaf like immediately just starts fiddling.
Oh God.
Right.
Yeah, Remmer wants to pop by Meek also and just be like, Meek, today, just stay near me while we're traveling.
I'm tired.
Yes, just stay near me. Everything
Such
will
a
be fine.
child.
Everything will
Okay.
be fine today.
I want to say, I feel like Meek is really me, like on a day-to-day basis. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
this sounds 100%
I'm just channeling how I feel inside all the time, and that is Meek.
Yeah, just stay near me. Everything will be fine.
Awesome.
I love this group.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Garrick, is there anything else you would like to do before stepping out?
I guess the only thing I would like to do is, if we're gonna leave the campground, just maybe spend a few minutes trying to investigate and seeing if I can kind of piece together what might have happened.
Sure.
Like, if I can Sherlock Holmes out the situation from last night.
Have the certain person who actually knows what they're doing look at the stuff.
So you're actively investigating, so give me an active roll there.
9.
Okay. You were already kind of looking anyway. Before you noticed exactly the story checks out. Like it appeared and it walked and its feet were kind of dragging, and you could tell it's skeletal. The feet were skeletal with claws on their feet. And it basically disappeared right where Meek was. And you can tell too where her feet kind of dug in when she was as tense as she was, because the toes. Because what kind of tiefling are you? Do you have hoofs? Do you have?
I'm a
claw
feral
feet?
tiefling, but I imagine I have. They're more humanoid feet, but they probably do have like elongated claws, and just like the same as her hands, just her nails are kind of sharp and long, and she does have like teeth that kind of poke out and are a little jagged.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So yeah, you can see where her like clawed feet kind of dug in and the toes curled into the dirt, like really hard, almost like she was looking to pounce, even though she wasn't.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I've got nothing, so it's something to keep an eye on, though.
All right. So you guys start traveling again, and I would say you're going your normal pace or trying to. Meek now is the one that's slowing you guys down, whereas Garrick the previous day kind of did a little. And you're able to get. So basically, the first bend is the hex that you're into after a few hours, about 2 hours. And is that the one? So we're in the fourth one from the town. Is that the one? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you want to go into the forest on the right or the left above it?
Up and to the right, like towards the ambush site, but through the woods.
Okay. Are you slowing your pace to try and be stealthy?
I'd imagine we probably would. I think we'd probably space out a little bit too. Or I would probably hang back with Meek in the formation. And I'd assume Eva would go up because you're the stealthier of the two of us. And then would Garrick want to send the bird up to look too?
Yeah, I can have Kraken kind of fly around ahead and just keep his eyes out. He's
That's a good
better
idea.
at perception than everyone else here except for me.
I think Renmore's just gonna hang back and try to like crack lame jokes to try to make Meek laugh and feel better.
And Renmer, like, yes, technically I am more stealthy than you, but that's only because I just have the +1 to stealth.
100% more stealthy than I.
And I'm not wearing heavy armor, so that helps as well. But she's not much better than you, so I like the idea of having the bird fly ahead.
Kraken flying ahead a little bit has a perception of 18. So.
Oh wow! Passive perception of 18. Damn.
No, just I just rolled.
Oh, you rolled it.
For him.
Perfect.
He's got a +3. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So how could he communicate to you what he sees? Like that's what I'm trying to think about.
Telepathically, up to 100 feet.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So he's still close by then.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys get closer to the area. And so would that mean that you can basically see what he sees?
Are you doing the warg
I
thing?
I have to concentrate to see what he sees, but for right now, I just figure he's gonna fly a little bit ahead, probably about 100 feet ahead, and then when he gets up to that point, just kind of wait for us, and then as we're getting a little bit closer, just hop in other couple of trees,
Okay.
just constantly staying a little bit ahead of us.
Okay. So because it is also the woods, you've also slowed your pace. Everything's a little bit slower. So, to move a full hex is going to be about 3 times as long as it would have been if it was the road, for example. So you're making your way through, and you notice that the ground is becoming very muddy. Your feet, as you step, are getting not necessarily stuck, but you can feel if you're in boots, they're just with every step. You can smell, like what mud kind of smells like. It has that very distinct smell. It is foggy, like I had said before, and it has been raining. Not hard, but it is a heavy, slow rain. A little bit colder than it was the previous day. Whereas the previous day it was probably a high 80s, very humid. Today is more like a high 60s, but more of a crisp, cold rain. And with Kraken being 100 feet up, it's hard to see much through the fog. And it goes on like this for a while. The fog kind of starts to clear up. And at the end of the day, you're probably halfway through that hex, I would say. It's starting to get a little bit darker. You're probably within about 10 to 15 miles of the supposed site.
Okay.
I think resting here would be a good choice, and then press in tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
The rain stopped before you guys rested. Would you guys do a campfire?
Not this close. I don't think I'd want the smoke.
I'm not very good at this, but would someone maybe want to try to get branches and stuff to hide the tent a little bit?
I'm fine with not having a fire, but if there's no light, I can't watch.
We can do another night without you watching.
Meek probably would not want to do a watch, I would assume.
Yeah, she's going to want to get rid of that exhaustion.
Yeah, she's dying of exhaustion. And this mud walk is not good for her feet.
We could have a campfire for the first few hours, and then I could do that watch, and then after that we could snuff it while you guys sleep.
I could take last watch then, and then Eva take the middle of the night.
Okay.
Yep. If I'm doing watch, I just want to make sure I have mage armor on.
Makes sense. Yeah, you taking first watch also makes sense because you can drop spell slots on yourself.
Mage armor's a damn good spell too.
Yeah.
Shit lasts for 8 hours.
That sounds good. And then you'll douse the fire when Eva's up.
Yep, sounds good.
All right.
Okay. Do me a favor. Everyone take away 2 rations off your sheet if you have rations. Yeah. Okay.
I have been mean.
Yep.
Forgot.
Okay, so there's 3 of you doing watch tonight, correct?
Yes.
Garrick, Renmer, Eva, Garrick, Eva, Renmer, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Eva.
Yeah.
On your watch, give me a perception check.
I was gonna say I'll still have Kraken stay with Meek, just because I know she hasn't been doing well.
Yeah. Okay. I straight up tuck her into bed.
Here's a blanket.
The bird is like a what's the word for it?
Your
like
nightlight.
A noise machine.
Yeah.
Where I can feel it breathing and it just calms me down.
I point to Kraken he's right there.
Don't forget your mouse.
All night.
Yeah, I do have my mouse too that I keep in a pocket close to my heart.
So Kraken, knowing where this mouse is waiting for it to come out so he can bite it. No, I'm just kidding.
I turn away from Kraken.
That would be terrible. You did say perception, right?
Yes.
That'll be a 13.
Okay. So you hear again on your watch some noises, this time coming from much further away. It sounds a little bit similar to the night before, but more of a rustling than a scratching.
Dead squirrels digging around in the leaves. It's fine. It's fine.
What would you like to do about that?
Not a damn thing.
Okay. No problem.
I will leave it alone. I mean, if...
It goes silent.
Okay. He jumped up into a tree. Like, in the back of her head, she's rationalizing it because she doesn't want to go get bit by another squirrel.
Sure. Give me a Constitution save.
What? Oh my god. Oh, hello. That's a natural 19. What's the save? 21.
Okay. So you realize you're like, man, I probably should have put some ointment on my finger when I got bit earlier.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it seems to have healed just fine. The rest of your watch goes pretty uneventful. Meek, give me a wisdom
Juice.
save again.
Was I bit by a zombie squirrel? Is that what you're telling me right now?
20.
Atta girl!
Yay!
There you go.
Good shit.
You are resting really well. Your dream, you see the same creature again this time, except this time you have an out-of-body experience where you're fighting it off, and you're not paralyzed, and it is running from you. And so you feel much better. And come morning, you all feel well-rested and happy and surprised that the night was pretty uneventful.
Yeah. Renmore definitely, like, he did his last watch, but, like, once the sun came up, he started his workout a little early. So you guys woke up, and he was doing, like, specifically muddy ground footwork, like, working on that footwork and, like...
Nice.
Okay.
All right, so yeah. So go ahead, Garrick.
I was gonna say, do we know roughly where we're at?
You have an idea.
Okay.
I mean, you don't know exactly. You don't know if you're 5 miles away or 15 miles away, but you know today you're going to get to that area.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you're good at navigation, correct? Do you have like any special abilities for that?
I'm proficient in navigator's tools.
Okay.
So if I have like map and compass, all that stuff, it didn't say that I had them, just that I was proficient in them. So
with tools. Okay.
Yeah, so that could be up to you to decide if I let's see. It just says proficiency navigator's tools. It didn't actually say that I had them though.
So if you had them, which you don't, I would probably give you advantage on trying to make sure you're on the right path. I won't impose disadvantage for you not knowing the area, so it would be a straight roll right now. Okay. Give me let's go with a survival check, and this will be to determine if you guys are heading in the correct direction to a T or not.
Nat 20, 23.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's turning around.
So you feel like, hey guys, I got another good night's rest. I feel really good now. I'm glad I wasn't drinking last night, but not really. And so let's go this way. And everyone's, like, all right, good idea.
Garrick, you are much more competent when you aren't pissed drunk.
But I'm much less fun, so.
All right, so you guys are walking up. Is there anything in particular you guys want to do before you head that direction?
I'll check my bite. I'm going to check Meek's hand, and then I'm good. Get all my shit together and let's go.
Yeah. Your bite looks good. It's scabbed over, looks clean. Meek's hand, surprisingly, has already scabbed over as well and is actually looking fairly decent.
Okay. I think I'll like rewrap it for maybe like one more day just to make sure, and then After
me a
that, it
nature
looks like
check.
after that, it looks like it's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'll do my normal morning reading, morning study.
What did you say?
Okay.
Nature?
Yeah.
15.
Okay. All right. So you find what you think are some good leaves. You wrap it again.
Okay.
Use the same piece of rope, a little tiny piece of string.
Yep.
You guys start walking. Is there any way you want to approach? How wide apart do you want to be? Any of that stuff?
Bird in the sky again, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
It's clear today too.
What
Okay.
I'll do is I'll actually go a little bit in front with Kraken. I'll go a little bit closer
Okay.
and just try to be quiet. And yeah, I'll just keep an eye out mostly.
Okay.
Eva, do you want to be with him and I'll be towards the back with Meek just because I'm far more likely to cause a ruckus with my disadvantage and +0 to stealth?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, I would probably let Garrick go at least some distance ahead of me, and then try to follow along behind as best I can.
I am unarmored and decently stealthy. So
Cool.
How big of a distance are you thinking, Eva?
Maybe like 10, 15 feet.
Okay. And then Meek, I'm assuming you're behind Eva then probably?
Yes, I will do that.
Okay. Roughly
I
how
was
far
looking at
behind
my
her?
I'll probably actually stick, unless she asks me to go further behind, I would probably stick like right next to her, or at least like within eyesight.
Okay.
So I think within eyesight, I think it would be safe to say maybe like 5 or 10 feet.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, Juce?
And I'll be right next to Meek.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. So is your bird in the sky, Garrick?
yep, I'll have the same thing where he flies a little bit ahead, goes treetop to treetop, kind of peeking down. And then what I'll do is, since we're getting when I think we're getting a little bit closer to the area, I'll take a moment every time that he flies forward and just kind of watch until he lands and kind of look around and see what he sees, and then I'll stop pausing and I'll just go back and continue walking up. So
Okay. You guys will know it's been about 6 or 7 days since the merchant had been here, right?
Mhm.
Or been to this area.
Hmm.
As your bird is flying, you are getting close. But before you even get to that point, your bird is communicating to you, "Happy bird, air under the wings, great. Happy bird."
very good.
And then all of a sudden
That's
you
so
hear him start
adorable.
counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Uh-oh.
12.
That's never
13,
good when he
14,
counts, unless I'm
15,
dropping silver
16,
into a
17,
pouch.
18, 19, 20, 20,
Oh,
19,
wow.
18, 7, and he counts all the way back.
Uh-oh.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. Am I seeing anything as he's counting?
So are you like doing that thing that
Yep. I'm looking. I'm basically
does?
paused. I'm pausing, looking through his eyes as he flies forward, and then when he perches, just looking around quickly, and then we'll keep
Yes.
moving.
Okay, so
So-
you see what looks like is 5 muddy merchants
Mm-hmm.
who are just kind of standing around talking to each other, it looks like, but their lips aren't moving. They're just standing there. And you see scattered out around them, and they're not on the trail, they're in the woods. And you see scattered out around them 15 dark figures. But it looks like they're in armor that's just caked with mud. Like you can't even make out what kind of armor. It's just covered in mud.
Shit.
So it's very hard to see, but your perception makes it so you can tell where they're at.
Okay. I will.
As this is happening, all 20 look up at your bird and make direct eye contact.
All right. I will tell Kraken to circle around, basically, to fly forward and then off to the side. And he's pretty fast. Obviously, he's a bird, so fly forward, off to the side, and around, and then come back to us the back way.
Okay.
And then I will turn around and tell them exactly what I saw. Trying to keep it hushed voice.
Before your bird loses telepathic connection to you, you see over off to the side as the bird's flying and veering off, like you said. You see the wagons. All of them except for one are burnt and still sitting on the road. You see the mercenaries on the ground, dead. You see a wolf that looks like it was starting to eat them, that is also dead. Looks like it was bludgeoned to death. Oh my God. And that's when your telepathic connection cuts out.
Okay. Am I relatively confident that Kraken is out of sight of them by now?
Yes, he's able to get away. But before he does, I want one dex save for your bird. All of them tried to shoot arrows at him, so we're just gonna do one check.
What?
That's a 21.
Oh, he makes it. He dodges 15 arrows.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right. I'm going to basically drop pocket dimension, so Kraken basically just disappears once he's out of sight, so that he doesn't actually have to loop all the way around. And then I will just basically bring him back to us, so that he's right with us. And that way, if they were following him, they're going off in the wrong direction.
Okay.
So there we go. And I let you guys know exactly what I saw. And I say, well, it was nice knowing you guys. I am heading back to town now. I'm not about to fight 15 muddy soldiers for some papers. So
They're clearly professionals. They knew a familiar when they saw one.
Well, he is brightly colored, so I mean, he's not the stealthiest, but at least he makes eyes up high where most people aren't looking all the time. But when you see 15 people all look at you at the exact same time, that's very creepy, and that is not something you want to deal with.
You said they were spread out, though. They were not all together?
They were circling the merchants. So you had the merchants there, and they were kind of all spread out around. And then they all simultaneously, like with the same creepy
merchants
motion,
as well looked too at the exact same time.
Was there any one of them that looked unique or different?
Was there?
The merchants all looked different, like in their clothes, but they had the mud on the knees, just like the other guy had told you. They were, it all made sense, right? The soldiers, as you called them, were just caked in mud. You couldn't tell if they had just rolled around in mud, if it was intentional and they were like lathering up. You couldn't tell exactly, if it was intentional or not.
I think at this point, since I know that there's danger in the immediate area, it's kind of wise to throw on a mage armor just in case.
Everybody roll for initiative. They're about 100 feet away.
Were they? Like, would they...
Oh, roll for initiative?
Yep.
Oh.
Fucking 6.
Woof.
18 here.
Oh, thank God.
What did Meek and what did Renmer get?
I rolled a 2.
What'd Meek get?
10.
Okay. Garrick, you're gonna go first.
Okay.
You can still talk to him. That's fine. I just wanted to know how much, so I have an idea what time passing and how long you guys are talking.
Yep. So do I see these guys going? Or do I see anybody coming up while we're having this discussion?
You do not at this time.
Okay. I am fully in the we should not be 4 of us trying to engage 15 people is nuts. So I am very much of the we should be moving away from this location towards the road as quickly as possible.
Okay, so you're going to start moving towards the road, and you're going to tell everyone else we should retreat?
I just say, 15 creepy people all staring at me. That's not really a fight that I want to try.
Okay. Meek, what would you be doing on your turn? I can't hear you.
Sorry, 1 second. I'll start moving then with Garrick because I don't want to be left behind. I'll kind of look toward Eva and Renmar as I do it, and then just scurry.
Okay. As you guys are moving towards the road, you see what looks like 5 merchants who are running towards the road as well. But they don't look like they're running from something. They look more like they're running towards you. And their feet in the mud are just...
So can we all hear that coming?
Oh, yeah, you all hear it. As they're running towards Meek and Garrick, they're still, 40 feet away. They're trying to take an angle, to kind of meet them roughly at the road. Renmer and Eva, you do see the merchants.
Okay.
With that, it would be Eva's turn.
Well, 15-4 isn't amazing odds, is it?
Well, that's 15-2, and the merchants. There was 5 merchants there who were doing the exact same creepy look.
Right.
So that's 20 to 1.
20 to 1.
Or 20 to 4, yeah.
20 to 4, if we count the merchants, then. And that would have just been to Renmer, because it sounds like you two have already, made your way towards the road. So just as like a quick aside to Renmer, it's like, that doesn't sound like great odds. I know you're eager, but
we can talk for like a single line, like free action while we're in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have too long to say anything.
Renmore gives like a nervous smile and just like, I'll take the 10 on the left.
Eva, what are you doing quick?
I'm gonna slowly start making my way back, but I'm like eyeballing Renmer
towards
like,
the road?
you better not fucking try what I think you're about to try. Like, let's go.
So Eva, you're heading towards the road with Meek and Garrick?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to, since you did establish that we can see the merchants, I am trying to keep myself between them and Garrick and Meek.
Yep. Renmer, you said you were trying to double back. What are you doing with your turn?
I'm gonna be kind of like trying to interpose myself between where I think the enemy is and the rest of my party, like moving with them, and then also I'm gonna try to finish, knowing that they're like mostly bows and arrows. They had arrows to kill the first crew. I'm like trying to find put some cover between me and where I think they are. It's like behind a good sized tree, maybe like crouch bound, and then like ready to. I got my swords out, ready to hit something if it comes within range.
So you're kind of positioning yourself hiding behind a tree, waiting for the bandits?
I'm moving with them, but I'm also trying to take cover. And then like if something comes near me, if something comes near me that isn't one of my friends, I'm gonna hack it.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume everybody did double movement except for you.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a stealth check.
Oh,
you're trying to dodge behind trees.
Oh no.
You didn't.
I rolled a natural 20 and a 10. Hold on. My stealth is, I believe, +0, so just a 10.
Damn.
Okay.
It.
Damn. That nat 20 sounded good.
Yeah.
Gotta love heavy armor.
I think my first double-digit roll on the campaign.
And both of them were.
Yeah.
See, things are looking up. All right. So you kind of position yourself at the last second behind a tree as you think things are coming closer. We go back up to the top of the order with Garrick. You're about 30 feet from the road. You can see these merchants now, and they're charging at you with daggers in hand. They each have a dagger, but there's a look in their eyes. Bloodshot eyes. I mean, they're pretty close. They're about 30 feet away. Bloodshot eyes, there's no life in their face whatsoever. And they close the distance to within 10 feet of you. What do you do?
And they look like there's no life in them. Like they look like they are possibly not currently living, or they look very...
No, there's still color in their face, but there's no emotion.
Color in their face, but no emotion. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Like you would know if you've seen battle, there's either a bloodlust or a rage or fear, something you would see in someone's face. There's nothing in their face.
All right. I guess I'll do what I've been trained to do. Sleep.
You cast sleep on them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And don't you have to roll for the hit points?
Yeah, I can see what it is here.
Okay.
So let's see. 5d8. So 24 hit points.
24. And it's centered around you, correct?
Well, it's centered wherever I put it. So
Gotcha.
I can I'll put it on them, and so it's going to be the lowest hit points first, going up.
Yep. What was the number again? I'm sorry.
It was 24.
Okay, you see 3 of them just pass out and face plant right in the mud, and the mud just goes, and just like it's almost like if someone dove into a pool and tried to push as much water straight ahead. But 2 of them are still coming at you.
Okay. And then I'm going to keep moving, essentially.
Okay. So you're able to get about 30 feet. You're 40 feet away from the 3 who face planted.
Yep.
The other 2, you're still roughly 10 feet because they're moving about the same speed as you now.
Yeah.
Meek, it is your turn.
So they still look like they're alive. They just look like something. Does it seem like something's overtaken them, or they're just angry? Do I get the sense that I feel like there's something wrong?
Yes.
Okay.
Being an urchin, you've probably seen people fight to the death for food and things like that, and these they don't look like that at all.
Okay. Meek, in a moment of feeling brave, is going to reach into her component pouch, grab a fistful of powdered iron, walk right up to the closest one, and kind of try to reach out and touch them with this powder and cast protection from evil and good. Which, if they are being possessed, they'll have advantage on a new saving throw against the effect.
Possession's like a ghostly thing or something, right?
It says protected against certain types of creatures, aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. If they're already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on any new saving throw against the effect.
Oh, man. How do I rule this?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So
Nice.
I know what's happening, but I don't want to give anything away to ask questions. Okay. So it would remove the possession, right? You said?
It basically gives them advantage on a new saving throw. So I suppose when it's their turn in the initiative, that they would be able to have an advantage saving throw against the effect.
Okay.
Or however you want to do that.
How many can you do it on, or is it an area of effect?
It is a touch, one action on one creature. So basically the closest one I'd go over to, and I'd try to...
Okay. So you close the distance on the closest one, and you touch it. And as you do, you see the face come to life with emotion. And it looks like terror and pain. And it's like, oh! And all of a sudden you see this almost like a slime, but it's not, like these little tentacles squeeze out of the nostril, and a spider looking thing, it's very long and twig like, comes out and tries to climb on you. Give me a dex save.
Okay. 1 second. I'm writing this down in my notes, and then I'm going to make the save. Okay.
It's a pure black thing. There's no eyes or anything that you can see.
Okay. This roll, it got stuck in my book, so I'm gonna re-roll that because it was to the side. That is a dex.
Yes, dex save. It's climbing on you. You're trying to get away from it.
13.
Okay, let's see what it got. Oh, you beat it by 1. So you
Yay.
shrug this black nasty thing off into the mud, and when you do, because the mud's still really wet, it goes under the mud and you can kind of see it, but it's now just caked in mud and it's trying still to crawl after you. So that was its turn because we're on the monster's turn. The other one, who was not free of possession, runs right by the one that had its nose thing. Now, the nostril it came out of now is just, it's a really bad bloody nose. And this person falls to their hands and knees looking exhausted and still in a lot of pain. The other merchant is now rushing after you. He's going to try to attack you with the dagger. That would be a 12. Does a 12 hit you, Meek?
A 12 is my armor class, so that hits me.
All right. So for 5 points of damage.
Ouch! I'm hurting. I have made a mistake.
Yes. Do you want to go on a break real quick? Okay, let's do a break real quick, and then we'll pick up, and I'll see if the mercenary soldiers catch up to you guys.
Cool. All right, so we'll put that up. Let's see. We want this one. I know how to do this. All right, there we go. We'll bring the volume back up, ditch the break screen, and we are back.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you guys for waiting through the break. We are back, and we are still on the monster's turn in this combat. So the one just had this stick spider thing that was black crawl out of its nose, this one merchant, and leap onto our tiefling, Meek, for her to shrug it off into the mud. And right after that, the other merchant came up and stabbed her. When that happened, Renmer saw out of the corner of his eye one mercenary that slipped completely by him, but another one on the other side of him opened up for an attack of opportunity. So Renmer, feel free to take your attack of opportunity.
All right.
And he doesn't see you, so you get advantage.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
That is going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
Oh, yeah. You got it.
All right. And then...
It was very easy to hit him, you noticed.
Yeah. That was that's 12 damage as I just kind of like reflexively like strike out towards its leg.
All right.
As it runs by.
You sever the leg completely off. When he drops into the mud, you see a similar thing that Meek just saw in front of her. You see this stick creature thing come out through the nose of this merc.
So, like, does the body react like a living body? Like, does it bleed, or is it like I hit it, the leg comes off, no blood, no reaction, and
blood, just like a normal person.
Okay, so, all right.
As the leg gets severed, you see him plop into the mud, and you see this stick thing crawl through his nostril and out the side into the mud and try to get out. It does not see you right away and starts to scurry. It doesn't get very far.
Yeah. Renmore does not know what to make of that. He is just frozen, transfixed, looking at both the stick thing and this guy he just cut with a sword, then just kind of laying there bleeding out, and he just kind of freezes up for a second.
Excellent.
Let me give us that was an attack of opportunity, right?
It sure was.
Okay.
So we will then go to Eva. You see these things going on. You actually hear in the distance a screeching. It almost sounds like not a battle cry, but like a foreign sound of just this really loud coming from multiple voices and direction, like the one direction where they're all coming from.
I don't know what that sound is. And that does not make me feel any better about the situation I found myself in. Do I see any mercenaries that are nearby? What's closest to me? What's happening right now?
You were probably closest to the remaining merchant with the dagger that just stabbed Meek.
Okay. I think immediately on seeing that, Eva's having none of it. So, I mean, just without a word, Eva turns her back from Renmer. Surely he'll be okay for just a minute or two. And she's gonna go take on that merchant that just attacked Meek.
Okay.
Let's see here.
You can close the distance.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. And I'm also gonna remember how to do melee attacks. For those of you that have never seen me play before, I'm a caster through and through. I don't know how to do this like
mundane
physical
stuff.
Weapon shit. Yeah. Who does this? All right. Somebody's gonna have to help me out. How do I calculate for the attack on a?
So, what weapon are you using?
A rapier.
Okay, so it's going to be dex based, so it's going to be proficiency plus your dex mod.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's a 16.
That'll hit.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And then it's just your dex mod for damage on top of your die roll of a d8 for a rapier.
I believe it is a d8. You are correct. Mm-hmm. That's a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage.
So that will drop it. If you want to describe what that looks
Right,
like.
it will. I mean, you, especially like Renmer, if he could see her face, he's never seen her like this.
Mm-hmm.
She looks almost as stone-faced as this merchant that just attacked her friend. She walks up to it like she's probably approaching from the side. The merchant's just attacked Meek, and she's just gonna take the rapier and stab it in the neck.
Okay. When you stab it in the neck, you feel your sword get caught a little bit, and you see the face of the merchant kind of come back to life almost with emotion, with pain and fear, and it locks eyes with you as this same kind of thing crawls out of its nose and down your sword blade.
Oh, that's kind of gross. Is it gonna get on me?
Nope, it's not its turn.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about that yet.
Well, see, here's the problem. Eva's probably not truly bothered by insects, bugs, or anything like that. I hate this shit. I'm very arachnophobic. I am not okay with this. Continue.
Okay. If you want to throw up an X card, we can reskin it if you want as
not
fluffy
at all.
bunnies.
Not at all.
All right.
This is fine. Continue.
Renmer, it is your turn.
He's freezing up a little bit. But will he? Should I make a roll to connect the creature crawling out of the body and the strange behavior?
So you want to try and investigate if there's a connection there?
Or like I'm gonna go with that he doesn't generally get it. Just
what's your intelligence?
I believe it's a 9.
You would probably think
8.
This is some kind. Yeah, you would probably think this is very strange behavior. You've never seen or heard anything like this before of a stick thing inside of someone's nose. It's just very weird to you.
Do I see any other like he's not at like weirdly like fighting kind of half zombie people actually is making him slightly more comfortable with this fight.
Okay.
Is there another of the mercenaries within range?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You see, I mean, they're scattered out, so they're not like all next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much like you would assume that like one, you could close the distance on one right now.
Okay. And is it near my allies or is it further out?
It's going towards your allies. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna slide over to him then and just kind of like come in and longsword first, seeing if it takes more than one.
Okay.
Cock die. That is a 10 to hit.
But it didn't see you, so roll for advantage.
Okay.
Because you're coming up from behind it.
Cock die again. That one is a 15 to hit.
Yep, it hits.
All right. That is 6 damage.
6. Okay. When you slash it, where do you hit it?
I'm going high. Like I'm just kind of doing like my like I don't know how they're reacting, so I'm just going straight downward chop towards like the neck shoulder area.
All right. So when you hit it, you definitely cut into its clavicle, right? So you cut in, and it goes in a solid like 4 inches. Like it goes deep, and you see just blood fountain, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it like stops and turns and looks at you and draws its sword up.
Okay. Bonus action, short sword to the other side of the head.
Excellent. Okay.
Natural
this one it sees. Natural 20?
Natural 1.
Oh.
So.
Okay. I'm going to roll for this.
Uh-oh.
Evens or odds? You pick.
Odds.
I rolled a 1, so I'm just going to say it's a natural 1. It does not actually do anything to you.
All right.
You're lucky. You feel your sword kind of lose grip a little bit, but you manage to catch it by the end of the pommel.
All right.
All right. Next up would be Garrick at the top. So you see we killed a merchant and one was good. Okay. So you see what looks like the bandits slowly starting to come through the tree line. Like now you're starting to see them. especially with your perception. Now they're spread out pretty far. They're not all going to make it to any of you guys, within the next turn. It might take 2 or 3 turns, unless you guys close the distance with them. But on this turn, for example, you think Renmer could end up with 2, possibly 3 around him. Eva could end up with 2 around her. You and Meek are fairly safe for now.
Okay, so I want to take just a second and see if any of this like weird stick spider thing crawling out of the nose makes sense to me at all in any way.
Sure. Okay.
Is
You're
that,
trying
like,
to recall a let's see.
Arcana, history,
Let's go nature.
nature. Not my best, but I can do it. Nat 20, 24.
Okay. So these are parasites. They're kind of like a stick bug. They tend to latch on to the brain, along the stem down to the spine. As they get bigger, they eventually warp these humans or whatever they're on into multiple tentacles mixed with whatever appendages the animal had at the time. And eventually basically just eat it from the inside until the host can't carry them anymore.
Do I know what they're called?
We're just going to call them stick bugs for now.
Okay.
I never came up with a name, but
I tell that to everybody, and I again say
they're weak in this stage, by the way.
They're weak in this stage?
Yeah, the small ones like this are fairly new. You would have seen the ones on the mercenaries are probably a few weeks old.
Okay.
Or the soldiers or whatever, the bandits.
Gotcha. Do I know if they have like any sort of central control, or are they like
a hive mind? Yes, 100% hive mind.
I yell out all this.
But it's usually an arcana of some sort. Something magical is typically the hive mind.
Okay. So I basically am starting to spurt all of this stuff out and say, hey, there's, a dozen more. We should really be moving. And are there any of them within how many feet of me? Are there any of them within?
Courtney doesn't look like she's dealing with this too well. Sorry.
Are there any within 60 feet of me?
60 feet, yes.
Okay.
Are
there any damage?
Or two of them,
the one that was on Renmer.
Yes.
Give it a DC 14 Wisdom save. I'm going to do Toll of the Dead on it.
I made it 17.
Okay. Then nothing.
Okay. Oh, it's not even for half or anything. Okay.
No, such as cantrips. So.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Strong cantrip, though.
That's a really good cantrip, yeah.
I rolled pretty well, 17 on the die. So, okay. So the other thing you will know.
With that constantly moving back, I do not stop moving. I just cast and go.
You said you rolled a nat 20 when you were trying to figure out what they were, correct?
Yeah, 20.
Okay.
Which I have a +4, so 24.
Sure. So with the 20, because I use nat 20s even with skills. I know that's not 5e rules, but I like it to give you guys a bone. So you would also know that with the amount of time they were probably on, even the merchants, there's no way the merchants that have it in them will survive. 7 days is a long time to have something attached and embedded in your brain. So the one merchant who had it, he might live for a few minutes, but he's pretty much going to be a goner.
All right, and I'm just shouting this information out. Every little bit of info I get, I'm doing it, and I'm moving back.
Okay.
Real quick, I just want to imagine that Meek is next to this merchant she just protected, and you just yelled out, "He'll be dead in a few minutes." I'm like, oh no.
The merchant who is next to Meek, by the way, he can't he doesn't even know how to talk anymore. He's just so his brain is so messed up.
Yeah.
He's probably not even seeing you normal.
Don't bother saving them. They're goners. We just need to make sure that we're not getting overwhelmed.
Excellent. With that, it is Meek's turn.
I will change what was going to do.
It's a good thing you got the info.
Yeah, which was drag the merchant with me to try to save him, and I'll let go, and I'll just be like, I'm sorry, and then I'll start to go back my 30 feet of movement. But is there another spider thing still?
Yes, the one you shrugged off is still alive.
I'm gonna shoot a firebolt.
Okay.
At that one.
Okay. Beat a 12.
Is a 15 plus something.
Oh yeah, you hit it.
That's gonna be 9 points of damage.
Yeah, it goes up in flames and quickly fizzles out and is basically lifeless.
And
all right.
one last thing.
Yep.
That's my second spell. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna healing word myself.
Okay.
Or wait, can I do that?
The first spell, was that a cantrip?
Yes.
Yes,
So
Firebolt's
yes,
a
you could
cantrip.
do healing word.
Oh, I could. Okay, then I'll do that. 2. I am back to max, which is 7.
All right. All right. So the ones, yes, it is their turn. Okay. So the one stick bug that Renmer originally saw crawl out and go off, that one just kind of scurries off, unless you want to attack of opportunity it.
I think I had moved away from it anyway, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was trying to just get away, basically, and it was covered with mud. The one that was on Eva's sword is going to try and crawl up to you. Give me a dex save. It could be athletics or acrobatics. Sorry. Okay. Yep. You shrug it off, and in the process, I'll say that you basically squished it. It died instantly when you did that. It was very weak. It almost feels like celery in your hands, and as you squeeze it, it's like cracking it in half. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to do that to you. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
Right. So Renmer had attacked the one in the arm. It was his wielding arm. So he's going to do an unarmed strike with his other one. But the one that was holding the weapon, it drops the weapon.
Okay.
The unarmed strike is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
For 1 point of damage because, yeah, it has no strength. And then there's 3 more that close in on you. Good luck.
Yep.
Oh, no. Well, one's a crit. The other 2 miss. So I did with a longsword. 4, 6.
I just realized I did
8 points.
I did all
8
of
points
mine.
of damage?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still up.
Oh, okay. So that was the 3 on you. So now there are 4 around you. So you know.
All right.
Eva has 2 of them surround her. And they try to attack.
Fuck.
Does a 15 hit?
It does not.
How about a 16?
That meets it.
Okay, so then you're
that
hit
one will
by a
hit.
longsword. For 4 points.
Ouch.
Yeah, first level sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, that is all their attacks. Then it looks like there are There's about 8 that are still about 70 feet away. They were clearly on the other side of the circle of the merchants. And it is now Eva's turn.
I don't like this. Like, at all. I'm super torn between withdrawing with the other 2 and my best friend who has more of them around him than I do. And I don't know what to do.
Definitely Renmore, like, both swords out, just kind of looks over his shoulder and goes, Eva, run!
Fucking tell me what to do.
I'd like to chip in that was my idea.
I'm going to take a swing at one of these 2 that is around me. Oh, god damn it.
Oh, a 1?
Oh, no.
All right, evens or odds?
We're gonna go with evens.
All right, you're good.
Oh,
I
cool.
rolled a 14. So if it was even, nothing happened. If it was odds, you're going to lose your weapon.
No.
That would not have been good.
No. I am not okay with that. All right, cool. Okay. So with that, I shouldn't do this. I'm going to withdraw 30 feet.
Okay. So you're running away, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that's 2 attacks of opportunity. I'm not kidding. I'm just going to show this because I don't want people thinking I'm pulling punches.
Oh my god.
Because I know this feels tough. Do you see the numbers?
That's a 3. And that's, what's the red one? I
They're
can't see
both
it.
3s.
They're both 3s.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
And all my other dice are over there. So
Yeah.
I just
Good.
wanted people to know because I know that this looks pretty tough.
I mean, she has an AC of 16. It makes sense.
That's only a 5 to hit for these. So, all
Yeah.
right. So anyways, so they miss. You're able to move 30 feet away. Now, you
Okay.
know on their turn, they'll be able to close that distance.
Of course.
They've already shown that they run normal speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit.
It is now Renmer's turn. You see your friend Eva swing and miss, almost drop her sword, and just go, fuck, and just start running.
I'm gonna take the disengage action, so like just swing my swords out to try to clear some space.
Yep.
And then duck out. And then as I'm moving my full movement, I'm gonna take my second wind as my bonus action.
Okay. And that's to heal yourself, correct?
Yeah, D10 plus 1.
Okay, cool.
I rolled a 6 total, so I am close to full health.
Awesome. Okay, so we are then back up to Garrick. Garrick and Meek, there's nothing near you. Eva is able to catch up with you guys and actually run past you. Renmer is able to catch up with you guys and also run past you if he's.
I'm gonna
should
stay
choose.
with. I'm gonna stay with them. I'm
Stay
gonna
with Meek?
like pull them and turn
Oh.
around and have my swords back out.
Okay, cool. So what are you doing, Garrick?
I mean,
You're close. You're about 10 feet from the road. Eva is already at the road.
yeah. You know, at this point, all I can really do is attack or move. I think it's better to just do full movement because I just don't want them on me.
Mhm.
So I'm going to keep running as fast as I can. And then if I need to at that point, then I can always stop and turn back to try to help somebody. But I'd rather just try to keep moving.
Okay, so you're able to move 60 feet.
Yeah. So do I know anything about these things? Like, are they going to do the hosts like tire out? Are they like, do they not get tired? Are they like zombies where
They don't get tired like you would think. The physical body will still break down. Like lactic acid still builds up,
right.
but that's the only deterrent. The oxygen level, like being tired like that, will not slow them down per se. So they would have better endurance than the host would normally have because the willpower aspect is the only thing slowing them down.
Oh, geez. And we don't have any anything in the area that we know of that could essentially slow them down? Is there anything in the environment that might be able to slow them
they're
down,
coming
stop
from
them?
mud, so if you guys are on the road, you can, which you are at this point, you can get away.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
in other words, you could run further than them.
Let's just keep running. I just basically shout out, they're not going to tire. We need to keep going, and then just keep moving.
Okay. Meek?
I'll just
you're muted.
ask.
There you go.
Am I? Oh.
There you go.
So I'll just ask if I can do this because I basically want to run 30 feet and then ready in action to run another 30 feet once I'm running with Eva and Renmar.
Yes, sure.
So that's
you guys are able to run together, I'll say.
Okay.
So all of you give me a dex, just a regular dex check. I'm gonna do the same thing for them.
Okay.
Basically, we're in a chase at this moment.
Hey.
Oh.
I rolled a 19. Did anybody beat a 19?
I rolled a 17, so no.
15.
5.
Okay.
I rolled a 19.
Okay. So you are the only one that could, if you wanted to, maintain the distance of about 30 feet from these things.
Are we stretching them out at all? Are they running it?
Yeah,
down?
they're not all together. They're not clustered. Okay. Like I said, there were a bunch that were also further back.
So how many are out front for their party?
2, 5. There are 6.
6, but are they all together? Or are they getting spread out?
It's the 4 that were on you and the 2 that were on Eva. So
Yeah.
it's 4 together, 2 together.
Okay,
And
but they're not
running.
staggering out any. They're
No.
all 4 staying together. Then the other 2 are staying.
Yeah, they're not even worried about tactics or anything like that. They're just running.
Okay.
Now the one with the clavicle issue, he can't run and keep up. His balance is off. He falls and biffs it. But the other 5 are able to close the distance by 10 feet on 3 of you, and Eva is able to keep the distance.
Okay.
Actually, she gains 10 feet on them.
Once it becomes very obvious that we're not gonna be able to break distance, Renmore is gonna turn and act as rear guard to let the other 2 spellcasters make some space.
Okay, so you're gonna sacrifice 5 or 10 feet.
Yeah, just try to take the 2 lead ones and try to hack them down real quick and then run again.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna completely wait. Okay.
I don't even think Eva would take the extra space. I think she would.
Okay.
I think she would want to make sure that she again is staying between them and the spellcasters.
Okay, so here's what I'll do. So the 2 that were on Eva close the distance on Renmer and Eva. Each of you can do an attack right now on each of them.
Okay.
And Renmer, you get 2 attacks because you have 2 weapons.
Oh, yep. Nat 20, baby.
Roll your damage.
Done.
I got a 16 my first roll.
How do you do crit damage? How do you?
It's double dice and dex modifier once. So D8 twice.
Nice.
Okay. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage.
Yeah, you drop it.
Yeah.
And when you drop it, you'll see the bug thing kind of try to come out again, just like before.
Yep.
I rolled a 16 to hit, and I on my first attack.
Yep, hits.
12 damage.
Yeah, you drop it.
Nice.
Okay.
We'll say one of the other ones, as you stand there with your other sword ready to attack, does come up. You can attack it if you want.
That's another 16.
Oh, beautiful.
So, and that one is 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay. All right. Okay, so that one's still up. But you hit it and stagger it, we'll say.
Okay.
And we'll say that you kept running.
Yeah, and then I just take off.
Yep. And I'm not going to give it an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Okay. So everyone do the roll for the chase again. There's what appears to be 1, 2 that are still chasing. The one you just hit.
So is that
and the other one?
That's a was that a dex save?
Just give me a regular dex mod plus your die roll.
18 for me.
16.
Oh, Garrett is gone.
Man, me and the 16s.
Yeah, Eva, if you want, you're able to just keep going too. You're way far away now.
Possible?
I-
I want to sling a firebolt. If
Well,
that slows me down,
yeah,
that's fine.
If I'm within, I want to make sure I'm staying within 60 feet of my allies. I don't want to get so I'm out of spell range from them.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
you know, I want to be able to hit if they get stuck and surrounded. I want to be able to hit whatever's on them.
Okay. Meek, do your fireball. Are you hitting the damaged one or the non-damaged one?
No.
I'm kind of just like slinging it at something, so you can decide or have it random, whatever. Because I probably am not paying attention to that. I'm just like, oh, they're still following us. Fire.
As long as you didn't roll a 1.
No, I rolled 16 plus 6.
She yeets
22?
a fireball
22.
over her shoulder.
Yeah,
Oh, you
just
hit.
like,
Yeah, you hit the damaged one.
Yeet.
Roll damage.
Okay. 7.
Yeah, you killed the one. And
Hey.
as the stick bug comes out, it also takes the fire damage because it was right in its
Hey.
face.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So there's one more. Renmer, what was your running roll?
12.
Okay, you're able to get away too if you'd like.
There's only one left.
Yeah.
Is everyone else making it?
Yeah, everyone's able to run.
Yeah, Remor's just kind of like at a jog, just like making sure that this one doesn't close distance at the back
Okay.
of the group. Sword's still out, just kind of like not running too hard, just making sure this thing doesn't close in.
Okay.
Does it eventually give up?
It does not give up, but what are all of your constitutions?
Oh,
Just your
God damn
scores.
it. Constitution score. Let's
Mine's
see.
11.
15.
15
Okay.
as well.
Okay. I will say that you guys are able to get away.
Okay.
Hmm.
I mean, if it
Because
doesn't give up, we could just turn and kill it.
the host bodies are not very strong
Okay.
for any of them. Luckily, you guys were scared enough to be able to push through being winded, a couple of you at least, and get away. At least you feel like you got away.
Do you know how many we left behind us?
Yeah, so based on Garrick's number, you left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bandits and 3 of the merchants.
Okay.
And then a couple stick bugs got away.
Gross.
Now, Garrick would also know with his nat 20 roll earlier that these stick bugs are not native to this continent. They're fairly unintelligent. They don't. Sorry, my dog's distracting me. So they're fairly unintelligent. They don't really think tactically. They don't think from a standpoint of like being able to infiltrate anything. They're basically just take over a host body and eat, do what they can to grow and inside their host body before they abandon it or use it till it's useless. That's it.
Okay.
The only time they show intelligent life is when they are close to the hive mind.
Okay. So if we can pull them away from the hive mind, they might be a lot easier to take on.
Yes.
And they're not very smart, so we could maybe do something to get them to get closer to us.
Are we discussing this?
I mean, we killed half of them already.
No, I'm legitimately asking. Like, are you two just like bantering about it right now?
If they've like stopped following us and we're kind of just like at a steady pace, then sure.
I don't know why I asked that. Eva would have been fine with it and been like, okay, very tactical about it. I'm just like, no, can we not?
Yeah. So are you guys heading back to town, or are you trying? What are you guys trying to do?
If we're not being followed, we probably stop running.
Maybe like crouch down behind a tree and take a moment to breathe from running.
Yeah. The moment that they're deciding to stop chasing us, I'd say we can at least walk and keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, they probably wouldn't have chased you anymore. The only thing they would have done, if anything, if well, you wouldn't know. You would not know. All right, so so you guys are able to get away. You're really tired. This day has been both emotionally and physically taxing, especially with this run. You guys probably ran a good 4 miles before you probably stopped. So some of your less athletic people, your legs are burning, your calves are so sore, your lungs, it's like breathing fire. It's just, you're hacking, you're not used to this.
So I'm going to suggest that we take a walk along the road where it's going to be a little bit harder to track us. Let's move towards town and get about an hour from here, and then take a short rest.
I agree. I
don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to take a short rest in the immediate area, though.
No.
I'm not sure. It doesn't make much sense the way they behave. That is not the type of group that would have orchestrated the ambush described by the merchant.
No.
They didn't seem intelligent.
Well, they. Regardless, I mean, they did let loose a bunch of arrows when we first came at them, and if all it was is they were waiting near the side of the road and the merchants came by, taking out the mercenaries first would seem to be intelligent. But if they're controlled by a hive mind, whatever's controlling them, if that was in the area, that could have made the intelligent decisions for them.
So you're saying if we eliminate the hive mind, they may be completely defeated without needing to defeat them individually?
Yeah, do I know anything about that? If taking out the hive mind kind of defeats the rest of them automatically, or makes them at least simpler?
It would make them much simpler. So
okay.
if you eliminate the arcane control, it's less of a hive mind. It's more of like an arcane control. It's kind of like how you and your familiar can telepathically communicate. Except when it's got the control of them, which it always does because it's already linked to it. When it's in the vicinity, it can actually give direct commands. When it's not, they're just going to go after things and pummel it unless they have basically loose stick bugs that need host bodies.
Gotcha.
Because that's their sole purpose, is to attach to hosts. That's it.
Okay. Well, yeah. I definitely just want to get away and get some rest in. So.
Yeah.
Yep. So are we doing? We're obviously finding a camping spot.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, or just not even necessarily camp, just more like just a spot where we can kind of maybe move along the road for an hour, then trail off the road someplace, and then just look for some place that looks like it'd be good cover.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't necessarily be spotted from the road.
Okay. You can find some shrubbery that's off the road to try and put your tent near.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Just gonna grab while we're walking, just gonna walk up next to Eva and be like, that is not how I pictured our first battle being.
My suggestion is to default to running away, and if that doesn't work, then kill stuff. Usually it has worked out for me.
I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, Renru, but I feel like Eva at that point would put her hand on your shoulder to stop you from arguing, because in what she knows about you, that's not your style.
Yeah, Renmore was definitely had turned and kind of one of those looks like, this conversation did not include you.
Leave it.
The implication of running away clearly upset him, and now he's just yeah.
Leave it be. And she's not it's kind of hard to describe. She's not trying to take your side on it, but she's not trying to take Garrick's side either.
Yeah.
So she's just like, both of you shut up.
He cools off pretty fast, and he's
Yeah.
just kind of nods. And
Leave it
withdrawal
alone.
in this case was the right decision.
It was necessary.
It was wisdom.
I'm not suggesting that we be cowards. I'm just suggesting that we be smart about it. 20 to 4 is not good odds. At least now when we come back, hopefully the odds will be better.
When numbers was their only strength, it is best not to play into it.
Mm-hmm.
How are you guys feeling? Like on death's door, or are you fine?
I think after a short rest, to say I would be fine.
Fine. Okay.
I take a look at the blood just kind of trailing down my arm.
Oh, you and
I
Renmer
say
are
this-
covered in blood, by the way. And in
Yeah.
fact, Meek is covered with her
Yeah, I
own
was about
blood
to say, yeah.
and the blood of the one that you slashed right in front of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was he. Renmore just kind of turns to even like in a low voice, just says, "It was more blood than I had expected."
It's not like it is in the books.
No, they didn't mention that when they would tell the stories on the yard. And he just kind of like wipes some off of his armor, and he goes, I will take the first watch tonight."
Bad I couldn't save that merchant.
Yeah, I actually don't think. I mean, it should still be decently early in the day.
Yeah, it's
correct. I don't think it's even time to camp.
It'll be
yet.
midday.
I think it's more just an hour to rest.
Yeah, it'd probably be around like midday-ish.
Okay, yeah, then I'd say
Well,
let's
you guys
just sit
woke
down
up
for a
and
short rest.
you did walk another 10, 15 miles kind of slow though. And then you
I thought you said
fought
it was I thought you said it was like 6 miles left.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. So you walked about 6 miles through mud, then you kind of got into the combat. And then you just ran, about 4 miles away from it. Yeah, I mean you're still talking about between lunch and supper time basically.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to take that hour to rest and
Mhm.
then move further along the road, and then before it gets dark.
Short
Find a good
rest can
spot
be
to camp.
walking at a slower
Yeah.
pace.
I'm gonna drop a hit dice then.
All right. Yeah. Then if we're gonna do that, then yeah, just so everyone has a chance to heal. I want to. I need a few minutes to sit though. I need to recover a spell slot. So. Which is involving a little bit of study for me.
I'm back to max HP, and I'm going. Yeah.
Damn warlocks.
I
Oh wait, we don't have one. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I kept thinking Meek was a warlock for like part of
yeah.
this fight, being like, "Where's the Eldritch Blast?"
Sorry.
Yep. I thought that same
Fire.
thing too. I don't know why.
Just make
That's funny.
assumptions because she's a tiefling.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you guys are thinking terrible things.
yeah, Remore's gonna like sit down, take off his armor, and like actually like clean it for a little bit, like get out some of his oil and just.
Oh, you're gonna
re-oil
actually
his
stop?
armor. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm assuming
think
at some
have
point
to
we.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And that was the idea, to just eventually, once we got a little ways down the road,
Sure.
to stop for about an hour just to heal and recover and do what we need to do.
Yeah, you guys feel pretty safe. The road kind of winds. These things might be smart enough to follow the road. They might not. You don't know.
They were all just standing there before, so I kind of think that they're gonna. My
Stand
guess
there
would be
now.
that they're gonna more consume the bodies that they have, and then once they start running out of bodies, they'll probably look to ambush more along the road. One thing that we should do though is we should try, if we have one of these encounters again, to grab one of them so that we can take it back and show that this is what's happening.
One of the hosts
So-
or one of the smaller creatures.
One of the creatures, yeah. We should try to grab one of the creatures.
I was gonna say if we can grab a host with a creature in it, because that way they could see what it's doing to a human. But that's gonna be more difficult to get.
if I had a good way to carry it, like,
It's true.
you know, if the wagons still had animals, which I'm assuming the animals are dead there too.
Sleep worked on
Yeah,
it.
the horses were dead. It looked like the horses were killed by the wolf that was there, that was also dead.
So
The
so what
wolf
I
was
would
clearly trying to eat what was there.
yeah, I can help thin the numbers with a couple of sleeps if I know that that's what's going on, but then I'm not going to have any protection. So, um, just just so everybody's aware, I'll be pretty vulnerable at that point. But the other thing is too, I'll just let you guys know if they're wounded, I I can make it a lot. I can make their wounds a lot worse. So if I prefer to call the weak. So anything that you can do to hit multiple of them is good for leaving me some targets.
All right.
Yeah,
Hold
and
on.
I used my I've already used my spells, my first level, but I don't really have damage spells anyway. So Firebolt is my go-to. That's basically all the damage. So I can stay
Yeah,
120 feet and just throw those.
I can sleep, which is good to take out a few of them, for a short time,
Yeah.
and then I've got cantrips to wound. So
And I have Spare the Dying. I just have to get to you. I can't heal you if you go down. I can.
Well, I've got my second wind back, so and I'm back at full HP, so I can get in and mix it up with a couple of them. I think if me and Eva stay close, you have lay on hands still, right? You didn't use any of it.
No.
Yeah, so we could probably mix it up with probably like 4 or 5 of them, and probably come out the other end.
Here's the thing. Technically, yes, I do. I don't really think Eva knows that she has that yet.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
I don't think that she knows or understands like what that is.
Yeah, that's fair.
In fact, during the rest, I was gonna try to narratively introduce that.
Okay.
So I think while everybody has taken a moment, I mean, it sounds like you guys are kind of talking back and forth to each other. Eva probably takes a seat, maybe a little bit farther away from everybody, or just like under a tree or something like that, and it's just going over everything in her head, everything what just happened. She's never seen anything like that, and a lot like Renmer, she's never truly been in a fight before. Stabbing the merchant was definitely off for her. She's never done that before. But I think in her mind, she's trying to oh, what's the word? She's trying to rationalize
it.
She's trying to rationalize it. Maybe
like justify it.
Yeah, maybe like it was like getting attacked by an animal or something like that. It's she's just trying to go over it in her head, and it's kind of freaking her out a little bit, but she's not going to outwardly show that. And the whole time, I think she's feeling the wound on her arm, which is, I mean, fairly deep. She might. I don't think she's still bleeding, but I mean that's a pretty decent cut on her, and just the whole time she's thinking about this, she's like rubbing her arm, and I think during that she doesn't realize it at first, but I think like as she's doing that, it's healing the wound. And at first she doesn't realize it, and then maybe somebody gets her attention and stuff like that, or something like that, and she comes back to her senses. She realizes it doesn't hurt anymore. Or maybe she just wasn't paying attention. She happens to glance over and sees that, like, the cut's not there anymore. There may still be, like, a red mark or something like that. She may not have healed it fully. But, in fact, I'm going to call it that. Like, I'm only down 4 hit points. I'm only going to heal 3. I'm going to leave just enough so that it's still there, but it's clearly healed.
Okay,
Very quickly.
that sounds cool.
Yeah, I think Renmore would stop by and just kind of have a little bit of a read on you and just be like, Garrick said that they're already really dead. This is more like freeing them than anything else. This kind of leads to like, I don't like it either.
Right.
It doesn't feel honorable. He just kind of looks at your arm and is like, weren't you wounded?
I think that's what finally kind of fully brings her back. She's like, what are you talking about? Of course I was wounded. And she like puts her arm forward and raises the sleeve. And then that's when she catches it. She's like, whoa. What? You saw it, right?
My father spoke of warriors blessed by the gods.
I don't understand.
He said he knew ones that could heal by simply laying their hands on them.
That's never happened before.
I don't understand
she's like...
most of the things that I do either. If that makes you feel any better.
You found another X-Man.
Yes, thank you, Meek. Thank you. I cannot explain this. Surely that couldn't have been me.
Who else could it have been? And Remar just kind of walks off, just leaving Eva like, just kind of like checkmate, walk away.
Dazed and confused. She has no idea what the fuck's going on. She has no idea how she did that.
Yeah.
I think she'll like wipe some of the blood off of her breastplate and clean her sword and that kind of thing as well.
What are you doing, Garrick?
My main thing is recovering my spells. So I'm just kind of deep in a book, just trying to strategize a little bit.
Okay. And then Meek, it sounds like you were over with Eva and Renmer.
Yeah, I was just hanging out with them, fiddling with stuff, waiting.
Okay.
Maybe feed a couple pieces of dried fruit to Kraken while I'm studying.
Okay. Kraken, is Kraken a normal bird? Or
No,
normal macaw?
He's a familiar.
So it's not like he's magical, though.
He's fey. I mean, he's
okay.
He's not a normal bird. He's a magical fey creature.
Okay, so. Then never mind. Okay, so he's unfazed by what he saw, I would say.
I checked on Squeak in my pocket.
Yeah, your mouse is quivering at the sight of these things that were bigger than him, that were crawling up and trying to get on you guys.
That's adorable.
I imagine this little mouse is always trying to peek out of the pocket and look and see stuff. And as it sees stuff like that, it just kind of tucks its face into the pocket with its tail sticking out.
Yeah.
You know, like almost every time.
Mm-hmm.
Good call.
Okay. Anything else you guys would like to do on your short rest?
So this is just a short rest, right? We're gonna keep moving.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured we'd just keep moving. So.
Okay. Good call.
Okay. The rest of the day goes pretty uneventful. You are able to get quite a ways away from what you were near, at least the site of it. You're able to move back down a couple of hexes on the road. And in fact, I would say because of your run and everything, you're probably past the bend now. You're about 2.5 hexes away from town, assuming you guys are heading back that way.
Do we want to just find a staging point to return and try to take them out? Like, I know we probably want to rest to give some.
Yeah. Well, now that we know what we're fighting, I think it's going to be a lot. But we'll have a lot better chance in the encounter.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah. So
I
I don't necessarily
change. They haven't changed location, so we know where they are.
I don't think we necessarily need to be all that far, but maybe a few hours away.
Yeah,
a
couple hours,
3-4 hours away, so that we can be well rested and then come look for them. But definitely traveling along the roads, and then when we go to camp, find a place that's a good distance from the road.
Yeah,
it has a nice.
I'm definitely more comfortable being on the road now that I know that they're not really ranging or looking or setting up new ambushes.
And I'm not worried about time because we know that there's no saving them or helping them. So we can take the extra time.
Okay. So I'm assuming you're setting up a overnight again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Meek, give me a wisdom save.
Oh, fun. Okay.
With disadvantage, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right. 1 second. Should I do this? This is a wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
No, I'm not going to do it. Because I have an ability called Favored by the Gods.
Okay.
Which does fun stuff, but I rolled a 2, so I don't think it'll help me. Which is -1, so a 1.
Okay. So as you're starting to fade off into sleep, you feel your body get intense again, like that one moment, and you see the flashes of that creature again in your mind, just on the front of your mind, and you feel like your veins are getting very warm and hot, and that's it.
Okay.
And then you slip into sleep. All right, who's doing which fire watch or which watch?
I would. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, normally I would assume if we have a fire, I would do the watch while we have a fire, then douse it afterwards.
Yeah. Sorry, I call it fire watch. It doesn't have anything to do with the fire. My bad.
I mean, if everyone else can see in the dark, I'll watch. I'll take the first watch when I'm going to have the most light advantage. And then at that point, if we want to douse the fire, anyone else can take watch.
All right. I'll take the middle of the night watch this time.
Yeah, I'll pick up the last watch. That's fine. But I think Eva is gonna stay up a little bit longer.
Okay. Who had the middle watch?
I did.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
2.
Okay. You do not notice anything on your watch.
I got my longsword out, and I'm like, man, this thing cuts great. Like, wow. I got halfway down into his chest cavity before I felt anything.
Jesus Christ.
The night's pretty uneventful. You guys wake up the next day, and Meek, just before you were falling asleep, that's roughly when you had that vision. Other than that, you're good.
Actually, I think before we actually go through all that, as I said, I think Eva stayed up a little later than everybody else.
Okay.
Obviously Garrick was out there because he was taking watch. She's kind of just like pensively just like staring into the fire for a bit. And again, she's kind of got her hand kind of like tracing where the original wound was. And this time she's actually like watching it, and she starts thinking about it. And she's like, I wonder. And like she purposely drags her finger down and gives it that last hit point to heal it over completely.
Very nice.
I don't know if I don't really know if Garrick was paying attention or if he saw it or anything like that. I mean, she wasn't doing anything to like purposely
I
avoid
see
it.
all.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
fucking 20 passive perception. Fuck you. Yeah. So. Huh.
Hmm.
Garrick is
Interesting.
pretty amazing. Let's just admit that right now.
Yeah.
All right, everyone's watches go by pretty uneventful.
Okay.
Renmer at one point is getting all excited about his sword thrusts and reenacting what happened, and thinks he hears something. Then he thinks he sees something. Then he realizes he hears Meek kind of stirring a little bit in the tent that all of you are in, and then goes back to sword thrusting.
Yeah.
And morning comes. Now, what is your
Yay.
guys' plan in the morning?
I read like every morning. And really, really wish that I had some booze. I do not
Are you
like
guys-
traveling the wilds.
Are you guys planning on heading back, or what are you trying to do?
I think that would
Back
be
towards
more of
the site, I mean?
head back and try to finish off.
Yep.
Okay.
I think having, you know, a couple of sleeps prepared, if we can try to spot them. I can actually cast sleep through Kraken's eyes. All I have to do is be able to see them, I believe. So
Okay.
I should be able to cast through him. So at the very least, we can do that. So
Okay.
Should we try to take this on by ourselves? Is that really a good idea?
I think we can handle what remains if we are wise about how we approach it.
How long does sleep last, by the way?
10 rounds, 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
So unless someone damages them, but at that point you just want to essentially, if they're sleeping, leave them alone. Take care of anyone that's not sleeping. And
But you do have advantage
Oh, that's true.
to hit
Yeah.
a sleeping one. In
Yeah.
fact, I think it's even an auto crit if you hit.
it's well, yeah. But if there's ones that aren't sleeping, you don't
Mhm.
want to try to hit the ones that are sleeping. So
Mm-hmm. I know. I'm just trying to put some thoughts out there for you guys. Mess up your tactics.
yeah, I'd prefer to hold the sleeps if I can. Just you know, like maybe start off with one, but I prefer to hold that second one just in case something else happens. But
Sure.
yeah, that's essentially it for me. I do not have a lot of flashy damage type magic, so
Okay. You have an arcane focus, right?
yes, I do.
Okay.
Crystal
just
ball.
checking. What is it?
Crystal ball.
Okay. Just checking. Okay. Anybody else want to do anything before you head back?
No.
All right. Let's fast forward then. Let's try to set your guys' tactics in action. And so Garrick's going to send the macaw up, correct?
Yep. Send the macaw up. We know roughly where they're at, so my goal is to be on the lookout, obviously, when we get in that area. But if we get into that area and we see where they're at, I'd like to essentially have the macaw scouting, just like we did before.
Okay. When you send the macaw out, you do see them again. They've kind of worked their way back to the wagons.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's still 2 wagons that are not burned.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they have things possibly in them, but it's all covered with a tarp.
Mhm.
The other wagons are burned, you know, and yeah. So anyways, so the macaw sees them. You guys are probably out, I would say, 60 feet from where everything is, like the first few of the bandits.
Are any of them wounded?
one who had his clavicle cut. But that one does look like it's basically almost dead. Like that one doesn't have any pigment in its skin. The wound looks like it's infected. It looks really bad.
Okay. All right. So I basically kind of signal out to them, you know, the stop, and then how many I see. I just start holding up some fingers.
Yep. You see 12 total. 3 of them are merchants.
12 total, 3 of them merchants. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So 9 bandits of the original 15 and 3 merchants of the original 5.
Oh, we took a long rest, right?
Yeah, you guys took
yeah.
long rest. You got everything back.
Good.
So.
All right.
Daggers.
So what was that?
The merchants, they had daggers compared to the bandits who, what was their weapon?
They had long swords.
Okay.
And long bows.
Okay.
The merchants also had light crossbows on their side.
Okay.
All right. So get as many in with sleep as you can, and then we'll close and kill the rest.
I'm thinking the merchants with the sleep.
Okay.
Let's start there.
Okay.
Okay, everyone roll initiative. I will let Garrick do the sleep spell
Oh boy.
before anybody else goes.
That's funny.
13 for me.
Okay. Meek,
12.
12. And Renmer.
17.
You tied the monsters. So, Garrick, do your sleep spell. The monsters had 17 as well.
Nice. Oh, not nice. I thought it was 20.
20.
I saw the 8 and the 7. I'm like, yes.
Okay.
Then a 2, 2, 1.
So 2 of them are asleep. 2 of the 3 just collapse.
So we're right
Okay.
on.
Was there anyone around them who was low on hit points? Because if there's anyone in that general area that was low on hit points, they
I'll
might
give you
collapse as well.
the one mercenary that
Okay.
was already injured. I'll say you
9
tactically
total?
put it there.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, because it's
1, 2, 3, 4.
technically it's going to affect the lowest hit points first. So.
Right. Wait. Why is my math not working? I think I crossed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
We're good. All right. So first up is Eva.
How far away are we?
About 60 feet.
Okay.
They have not seen you yet. They were looking the other direction down the other way of the road.
Right.
And I just say 3 down, and that's about all I get out.
Okay. I would like to creep up 30 feet.
Mhm.
Actually, you know what? No, I'll keep it at 30. Okay.
Okay.
I'll keep it at 30, and I'm going to attempt to stealth.
Okay. Disadvantage. Or no, you're not at disadvantage.
No.
Sorry.
No. I missed my tray completely. Let's see. That'll be... God, again with the 16s. Holy hell.
That's good, though. You want
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're able to sneak up, no problem.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to sneak ahead of everybody 30 feet, close the gap between myself and these things. So
You see 8 of the bandits standing, and you see 1 mercenary standing, and they're all staring the opposite way down the road. Like, even seeing the ones just fall over doesn't even really faze them. I mean, they kind of glance around, but...
Can I tell what they're looking at?
No, you don't see really anything.
Okay, that's odd, but... Okay,
All right.
cool.
Next
yeah,
up.
I'm not going to do anything.
No problem. Renmer, 60 feet out.
I'm gonna walk up 30 feet and position myself with like where at least 1 or 2 of them would have to pass by Eva and like give her kind of an opportunity attack. I'm just
Okay.
like walking, blades out at my side, held out, and I just call out to them. I go, "Come, creatures, die on my blade."
Okay. With that,
I'm preparing an
they
action.
turn.
First one that comes into my range, prepared action, whacking them in the head.
Okay. They turn. Two of the one of the mercenaries, one of the bandits. The bandit goes first through Eva. Go ahead and attack, Eva.
Fuck yeah. Oh, all right. Let's see. Math. That'll be a dirty 20.
Okay, you hit.
So... Boy, max damage. 12 damage.
You drop it.
Yeah!
All right. Now give me a dex save, Eva.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Or actually, I'm sorry, athletics or acrobatics. Sorry.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, shit. Hello. Let's go with acrobatics. That's gonna give me a 17.
Okay, yeah, you're able to dodge this stick bug thing, and it's on the ground near you.
I feel like this time I was expecting it.
Yes, I was gonna say that actually would work.
Yeah.
So as you dodge that, though, the other one, the merchant, runs right by you to Renmer. Go ahead and attack, Renmer.
All right.
Right, and I can't.
That's an 11.
Hits.
All right.
I couldn't attack of opportunity that one too, right? Because
no, you only
technically the attack of opportunity is like a reaction.
And technically,
right?
Renmer can only do his primary hand now.
Yeah, no, I can only do one attack on with a prepared. But yeah, so I'm standing there like both blades out, and as he comes forward, I just drop the long sword into the side of his head for 8 damage.
Oh, you drop it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's a little hard still. You're surprised with how long it's basically been taken over. It's still pretty hard to cut into it, but you drop it right away. And the next turn, it looks like 2 bandits are going to be able to close the distance between Renmer and Eva. Now we will go to Garrick.
One for each of us.
I think after we drop that second one, I'm gonna like turn around and be like, "Well done."
Okay. I will take whatever bandit is closest.
Okay.
And I will cast Toll the Dead on it. So that is a DC 14 Wisdom save.
Oh, it does not make it.
Okay. And is it wounded at all?
No. Actually, I'll say yes. You guys would know that all of these are probably wounded from the stick bugs originally embedding.
Okay. If they're wounded, then it's different. Give me a second.
Next,
5 points of damage,
sorry.
necromantic damage.
Okay. Then boom. Okay. What does that look like or feel like to that?
So basically, it has the sounds of like funeral bells ringing in its ears. And then it starts to essentially feel the fear of its own death, and that ends up necrotically rotting its corpse, or soon-to-be corpse.
Okay. So with what you just described, I will say that with these creatures, they try to get off of the brain when this happens. And start trying to crawl out of the nose. Imagine like Venom in Spider-Man with the bells and how it affects them, the symbiote. So the bug immediately comes out of the nose. The bandit falls to his knees, lifeless, and just collapses. The stick bug then tries to scurry away.
Okay.
Seeing no host within a couple feet of it.
How far away is it?
From you, probably 40 feet.
Okay. I will keep where I'm at then.
Or how far behind Renmer and Eva are you?
I don't know. You tell me how.
We
I
moved
don't
up
want to
30
be.
feet.
They moved up,
Yeah,
so I would say probably close to 60 then.
Yeah, I'd like to make sure that I am within range, that I can hit anything that is at them or near them. So, if I'm 30 feet behind them, that's pretty good.
Okay, perfect. Okay. And then next up is Meek.
So, is there in range one of these stick creatures trying to scurry away?
You have that stick bug as about 60 feet away from you right now.
Oh, 60 feet? Okay.
Yep.
And I'm not going to worry about that. I was thinking about grappling one, but
Okay. There's
I'll
one
go ahead.
bandit about 60 feet away as well.
I'll go ahead and firebolt the bandit.
Okay.
That is 26.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Was that a
Thank
crit?
Oh,
It was 19 plus 6,
Oh,
right? I
shit.
can't do math. That was 25.
25. But
25,
still,
yeah.
damn. Holy shit.
That
This
hits.
is the one, yeah. The one spell that Meek is like, this was the first spell that she knew how to do was Firebolt, so 5 points of damage.
All right,
There
so
you go,
you
nice.
blast it right up in its face, right in its chest, we'll say. And it did not like that. It lets out a screech sound.
Fun.
All right, we are back around to Eva. You are about 30 feet away from the stick bug, and 30 feet away from the bandit.
Wait. Did it not die? Did the bandit not die?
Nope, it just took the fire in the chest.
What the fuck? Okay.
It was only 5 points of damage.
Yeah, it wasn't that much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't 25 points of damage.
No.
That was her to hit.
You're right. I didn't hear the damage. Okay. I don't have anything to catch this bug.
We can always catch the last ones.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about catching them while
We got
there's
some
still
ones
one
that are
second.
asleep. We can.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You guys have 4 host bodies. That's good enough to catch them, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's true. There's the ones that are asleep that we could.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay.
Worry about the living.
Or at least as close to it as we can get. In that case, I will go for the... I'm going to run up on the bandit and take a swing at it.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, it rolled out of my tray. There we go. That'll be a... What is my proficiency? 2? That'll be a 21.
Oh, yeah, you hit.
11 damage.
Yeah, you killed it.
Yeah!
You killed it so bad the stick you got it in its face. The stick bug doesn't even get to climb out on that one. So you did enough damage that you basically just pulverized it with your sword.
I feel like I make the stab, right? And then I'm just like, as I pull the sword out, I'm waiting for it to come out because I'm expecting it. And it doesn't come out. I'm like, well, what the hell?
You might see like a little tentacle start to wiggle out and then it just goes lifeless.
Huh. All right.
Renmer.
What do I see within 30 feet of me?
Within 30 feet of you is a stick bug, and there's another bandit who has not been hit yet. He's off more to the side where Eva could not have closed the distance to him.
Where's the stick bug? Like, can I go by the stick bug and go to the bandit?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna. What? Yeah, I can't bonus action attack until after I take the attack.
No,
action,
you could do
correct?
the bonus first.
Okay, so I'm gonna go by and just kind of like with my short sword and just try to like poke him on the end of it.
Okay.
That is a dirty 20.
Yep.
Yeah, that's 8 points of damage.
Yeah, you killed the stick bug easy.
All right, cool. So
Celery.
Kind of like poke him, flick it off the blade, move up to the guy, and I just like stick my short sword out, just try to tangle up his long sword and bring my long sword down at his face.
Oh, nice. I like that description.
And that's a 17.
Inspiration, by the way.
Huh?
You get
That's
inspiration.
inspiration, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's a 17 to hit.
Yep.
And that is 9 damage.
Oh. So you blast it. Where did you hit it?
Like face, cheek
Face?
area, just coming straight down.
I'm going to give it to you because it's the face. So you rolled well enough and you did enough damage. You cleave its head in half. This one was kind of soft. You can tell it was already in the decomposing stages.
Oh.
And when you cut it in half, this bug is a little bit bigger than the previous ones you've seen.
Okay.
It's clearly been in there a couple extra weeks. All right. It's their turn. So now there's 4 of them that are closing in on Renmer and Eva, 2 each. Renmer first. As they run up, and there's very primitive hacking. Like, there's no thought put into it. Double 15s.
16 armor class.
All right, they miss.
And
All right,
all saves
Eva.
today.
Yeah, nope. 8 and 6. Okay. And that sucks. I thought the 15s might hit. All right.
I spent all that money on armor. Totally worth it.
Oh no, that one was asleep. So you're good. Okay. So it is now Garrick's turn.
Okay. So what is close as far as if we got 2 on each of them?
Yeah, you would have to move up at this point. They're now about 90 feet away from you.
Okay.
Maybe a little less,
yeah,
maybe more like 80.
I'll move about 30 feet up
Okay.
and look to see the one that looks in the worst shape, and on either one of them, and
Okay.
I will toll the dead it. So DC
Okay.
14 Wisdom save.
11 does not make it.
Okay. Is it wounded?
Yep, all of them are wounded.
Is it missing? Okay. So that is 6 points.
Okay.
And again, it's the ringing of the bells and the necrotic damage.
So again, I'll say that the bug kind of pulls itself out. This one again is a bigger one. It's probably the full size of, I would say, like 2 hands. Like, it's big. Clearly, when it almost wrapped the full brain kind of thing. And when it does it, like, it splits the face open, like, and the body goes lifeless.
Boy.
All the fire spells. All of them. Right now.
Meek,
This is about the same size as the one
fire.
Ryan saw, but it was cleaved
kill
in half.
it. Kill it.
By the way, that's probably like
I spontaneously
18 inches,
learned
maybe?
burning hands just to make sure it's dead.
Like, I hope they make Hallmark cards for bone victims because they're about to get roasted.
that's almost 2 feet. Almost.
Why would you say that?
Awesome.
I just want to give a perspective there.
All right.
Okay.
So Meek.
Yeah, I fire that happening. That's like and then I just try to throw.
What's your
fireballs
range on your
at it.
spell, just so I know?
120.
Oh yeah,
If I
you can
need
hit
it,
it.
I can move a little bit closer too.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Okay.
I don't know if you'd really want to come closer to those things.
Probably not.
And these
especially
ones
after
are
seeing
quicker.
that. Yeah.
Much quicker. They even have more appendages.
I'm so bad at math.
I can't tell if you're just, like, adding to the narrative or if you're trying to fuck with me.
A
No,
little
I'm
bit.
really bad at math, but it's good for my character that I have a low intelligence. 22 to hit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That wasn't directed at you, Tieflik. I was talking to Juce.
No. Oh, I thought it was me. I was
No.
like, yeah, I'm bad at math.
He keeps going into, like, these very graphic descriptions, and I'm just like, are you fucking with me here? What is
That
this?
is not that much damage, but 3 points of damage.
Listen,
Right?
that's
How many?
3 points.
So you light it on fire and it dies.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
That's some real Mike shit, Juice.
Is that what Mike does?
Yeah,
He just screws with you?
yeah.
All right, he'll
With
be
the
proud of
descriptions, yeah.
it. All right. So Eva, it is your turn.
All right. Do I have one within range of me?
Yes. Yep.
Oh
All
yeah,
of them. You have 2 on you.
I've got 2 on me,
Actually,
don't I?
So the one that Garrick hit was one of the ones on you, actually. So you have just 1 left on you, and 2 are on Renmer. Now remember,
And
that
that-
bug could wrap from the base of the back of your skull and come up completely over around your face.
Okay.
Just
now,
remember
now I'm
that.
just messing with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, that is true.
But now that Again, I'm trying to keep my reaction and Eva's reaction separate because it's two very different things.
Dab
But
the
I'm
fuck
having
out.
some trouble here. So I think so again, Eva would have been fine with it and not reacted with my god awful facial expressions. Here we go. I'm swinging at the next one. Ooh, hello. That's let's see. That's an 18. That's gonna be a 24.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh yes. Do I need to show you?
No. What was it?
I rolled I rolled max damage on the dice again, so that's gonna be
Nice.
12 damage.
So you killed it by
Please,
one hit
again,
point, by the way.
like in the face, and I killed
Oh,
the
yeah.
I killed the spider thing too.
Yeah.
It doesn't crawl out.
No, but you can tell that it was one of the big ones.
I feel like before I take my sword out, I can feel it rattling. And that's really fucked up.
You're doing it to yourself.
I think at this point it's all I can do. Humor is how I go with this.
It
So
works.
okay. So yeah, like as I'm like trying to take the sword out, I can feel it like moving. And again, Eva's like, "Okay, all right, cool."
Right. So when you kill it, you see you could close the distance on the two that are on Renmer. There's also the two merchants that are sleeping nearby, as well as the one other bandit that is sleeping nearby.
I think I will.
There's a
run up-
wheezing in their breath of the ones that are sleeping.
Okay, yeah,
Like
I'm
they're
not
barely
gonna.
sleeping.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Oh.
Like they're barely breathing.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like they were about to wake up or some shit.
No. Well, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. Fuck. All right.
Sleep apnea can wake you up, right?
All right. Eva would run up to back up Renmer,
Okay.
and then
Renmer.
that'll be it.
All right, I got the 2 on me, both missed, right?
Yep.
So I think I'm gonna burn the inspiration. I'm gonna say one, like when it came in, we got a little tangled up, and I'm just gonna like shoulder check him hard, and then use that space to swing on him with inspiration.
Okay.
That was good because I didn't roll right. I closed my combat one. I think that's a 17 to hit. Yeah, 17.
Yes, it'll hit.
All right. That is 7 damage.
Okay, so you hurt it pretty bad.
I'm gonna swing my short sword kind of like at the other one to
Okay.
try to keep him off me and just to spread the damage around for our Toll the Dead chaos.
Okay.
That is a 13 to hit.
Yep, barely.
Mm.
You
And
find
that
a spot
is-
between its armor.
6 damage.
All right, so you hurt that one.
Okay.
All right, it is now their turn. They are red die on Eva, blue die on Renmer. Red die is 15 and blue die is 13.
Nope.
All right, so they both miss.
I feel like I feel like they swing at us at the same time, and we both pull like similar ducking moves.
You know what? It's in unison. They both do the exact same swing at the exact same time.
We're just like.
It's very uniform.
Nice. Very cool.
All right, it is Garrick's turn again. Toll the Dead.
Yes, we could do that.
I got 14.
Okay, that's the save difficulty, so nothing.
So nothing? Okay. Meek.
Firebolt.
Okay.
Yeet.
Oh no.
Did you roll a 1?
No,
Oh,
I
damn.
rolled a 2.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it. Just
You
kinda
didn't hurt
fizzles
anybody
out.
then. On a 1, I was going to roll to see who you hit.
Oh god.
It's okay,
Oh,
though. You
but-
didn't hit.
By the way, since Kraken's just kind of sitting there, can I go have him do the help action on the one that Ava's fighting? So basically fly
Yes.
by and try to like
Yes,
distract
and I
him?
will let Meek have advantage. So roll again, Meek.
Oh,
Ooh.
It's distracted.
18.
All right, you hit. You see as you hit, by the way,
Mhm.
and you can roll your damage, but as you're doing this, you see a small one of the things comes out and is
Mhm.
trying to latch onto the macaw.
I do 7 points of fire damage.
But your fire kills it, kills the host, and also kills the big one inside.
Sweet.
All right, there's one left. It is now Eva's turn, and yeah, you could move over to the one that's in front of Renmer.
I think I will.
Okay.
You gonna flank it?
If I flank it, do I get anything extra?
We could use flanking rules right now. Why not?
Okay.
You have advantage.
I mean, I rolled high enough to hit. I rolled a 14.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just roll damage then.
Okay.
You might not need anything extra.
That'll be 10 damage.
Oh yeah, you obliterated it. Once again, you did it so much overkill that you don't even have to worry about it. Now, all of the standing ones are done. You see 3 left, 2 merchants, 1 bandit that are barely breathing. It's very weak breaths on the ground. They're just laying there. You could go up and easily just coup de grace. You don't even have to roll if you wanted to kill him.
Let's coup de grace the merchants. Just put them out of their misery.
Does someone want to be ready with something to grab one of the creatures?
Well, we'll still have the
I can.
we'll still have the
I
one.
can,
I would assume
bandit
if you're
left.
coup de grace them, you're going through the eyeball trying to get right through the brain.
I can toll the dead them, and then if the thing comes out, one of you guys can just take the smash if you want on whatever crawls out of them.
Yeah, Remmer's definitely not comfortable like often people who are sleeping currently.
Well, remember, they're not people. They're hosts for an insect that's eating their brain and putting them through terrible suffering that they're not going to recover
he's
from.
Still struggling with it though. Like he's not going to stop anyone from doing it. He just like feels a little distasteful.
I distaste having bugs in my brain, so I will go ahead and pull the crap out of them.
God.
Okay, so the merchants, you're doing Toll the Dead to them?
Yeah, one at a time, and then if someone's going to
okay.
be close by.
I'll get close by with a dagger and just be ready to stick in a brain.
Okay. So first one, I have to beat a wisdom. You know what? They're not going to make the wisdom save. They're asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
So
they
it
don't.
comes
I don't
out-
think they usually get one.
Yeah, I'm going to say it comes out one at a time. First one comes out, Meek, you're trying to stab it or you're capturing it?
I'm gonna try to stab it.
Okay, roll to attack.
We've still got the injured bandit too.
Yeah.
9?
To hit?
9 to hit, yeah.
Would not hit.
If that misses, I'm gonna use my ability, Favored by the Gods, to add, if I miss with an attack roll, I can add 2d4, possibly changing the outcome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
okay. So you don't even have to roll because you would hit with the +2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
'Cause you're
I
doing
rolled
2d4?
5. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You said 5 damage?
No. 5 extra, and then
Oh,
for
okay.
damage it would be, what is my dagger?
We don't necessarily require a
3
live
points
one.
of,
Just
3 points of
remnants
damage.
one would likely
3
be-
points? You kill it.
Yeah, I would. I
It's
would
the
say.
merchant one, so it's a small one.
I would say if we can get maybe the one that's in this last one, we don't necessarily need to keep it alive. Just just keep its corpse, toss it in a backpack, and
There was one I
Shove off.
killed earlier
There's
that would
there's a
probably
risk
still
with
be
keeping
in
it alive.
mostly one piece that I could try to find also.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not keeping it in my backpack.
No, we're making sure they're dead.
Not
Yep.
happening.
All right.
Why don't we?
Alright,
Why don't we check the other?
Here,
Why don't we check
chest.
the other
Let's-
wagons?
yeah, Eva can probably coup de grace this one because if they're coming out and it's going to be a hassle to hit them, I'd say just let Eva coup de grace the other one then.
Yeah, you just literally go up, sword right through the skull, dead. No problem.
And then
and you're able. There's one that's probably dead that is mostly intact. We'll say.
Okay.
Somewhere around here.
So, I guess finish everything off, and then look around to see. Really check thoroughly that make sure there's nothing else, and see if we can kind of figure out. Oh, wait. Hold on. The one that's in this. Did any of them run away?
One did.
I don't think we lost. I don't think we lost it
today. from the toll or whatever.
Yeah, from the first fight we lost one, but like not this one.
We lost a couple, I think, but I think we killed them all.
Killed them all this time. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because if one of them happened to run away, we could just try to figure out where it's going.
Yeah, we lost that one. That was a day ago.
Paul is smart over here. Smart cookie.
Yeah.
So, you really do have a 21 investigation, don't you?
Yeah.
Dang you.
So let's see if everything's dead, then let's look for any sort of a track or trail or something where these things might have skittered off to.
Can we use that 21 investigation to check out the wagons first?
Sure. So Garrick is going to go check out the wagons?
Yeah, we can go check out the wagons together. That's
okay.
Fine.
So you guys all kind of make your way over there.
What did you say? There were 2 that were not burned?
Or Pieter, we're looking for a chest with all those papers in it. Right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 2 wagons that weren't burned. I thought you were talking about the stick bugs. Yeah, no, there were 2 that weren't burned, and 4 that were.
Yeah, I guess rummage through the wagons, see what we can find, and then I wanna try to track down where these things were headed.
Okay. So you try to look for tracks while you're walking over to the wagon. They're so small and light for the most part. You actually don't see any tracks, unfortunately.
Okay. Any blood? Because they were coming out of something's face.
Oh yeah. You see basically when the original merchant told you where they were kind of on their knees, you can see those spots where they were forced on their knees by the bandits, and you can see, what was possibly blood before, but it's rained a few times in the last 7-8 days. But no tracks of what you would assume would be the bugs,
Gotcha.
just because they're so small. But you do see tracks from like the wolf that came in. Clearly, it was just here to eat the fresh carcasses at the time. Now, looking at the wolf, it's been dead for a while, probably for almost the full 6 or 7 days. The same thing with the horses. They've been dead for about that time. Clearly, they were mauled by the wolves before the stick bugs got to them, because you would also know the stick bugs can latch onto them as well.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a humanoid. That's just preferred because it's safer for them.
So here's what I will do. I will tell Kraken to fly in the direction that I saw the last stick bug who was running away.
Okay.
I'm going to assume as the crow flies, I'm going to tell Kraken to fly that way and search around for about 10 minutes and then come back immediately if he finds something.
For 10 minutes, you said?
Yep. So while
Okay.
we're basically searching the carts, I'm assuming, we're going to spend a few minutes searching the carts. Go ahead and have him fly off in that general direction, to whatever last direction I saw the stick bugs making a break for. And that should be pretty well known from base where we're at and where they're at. Just kind of follow that in a straight line and look around and see if it can find anything in that time.
Okay.
That's actually the title of the episode tonight, As the Kraken Flies.
Kraken flies.
There it is.
I like that. That's what we'll call it. So as the Kraken flies away, you walk over to the first wagon, and everyone's kind of looking, waiting for you to open it up. And as you open it up, we will end right there.
All right.
Oh, fuck you.
Hey,
I do want to put it out there that
cliffhangers.
My equipment light fighter is totally going to look for some daggers and longbows and arrows to loot the hell out of, so he can have some more ranged options.
All of the bandits had longbows.
Yeah, so
there's plenty of arrows still.
I'm definitely gonna grab some arrows and some daggers.
I do want to say too, when you look at the site, it looks like a hail of arrows, like tons of arrows hit the sides of these wagons. Easily, every single one of these bandits shot arrows at the exact same time, and probably did it twice before probably the mercenaries got a chance to react.
Shit.
Surprise round and initiative, by the way.
Oof.
Because they're not that strong. And we also have to loot the mercenaries, right? So we'll get to that next time.
All right.
So yeah, what do you guys think? Was it fun?
That was a blast.
Yes.
Oh, does everyone want to do their sign off, and then we can maybe talk for like 5 minutes after we end screen?
Yeah.
Sure.
We can do that. Who wants to go first?
I will go first.
Yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. I will just say, beware the Kraken, and that's about it. I don't really care about the rest of it. So.
Calloused
Well
on Twitter.
Well said.
Yep.
All right, let's go Cornelius.
As you said there, I'm Cornelius. I am on Twitch. I occasionally stream. I don't do anything like scheduled or anything like that. I just kind of fuck off and play whatever I want, whenever I want, because of course. I play here on Wednesday nights. I'm loving this so far. We actually got to do combat tonight, which is great. Let's see, what am I doing? I'm actually playing on Mondays now. So I'm playing on Mondays with Caution Nerds, but it looks like we may be trying to change the timeline of that. It seems to be kind of difficult to get everybody together at Monday, whenever we play. So I might actually be switching that show out with another show on Salt and Sassy. That's been a long-running campaign, and they've had a couple of openings pop up, and so I actually jumped in this week, and it was a lot of fun, and so I'm really hoping to kind of work the schedules out so I can continue with them on a more permanent basis, and it's interesting. I'm really looking forward to working with those guys over there. Other than that, you know, that's kind of my Twitch life. I'm also Cornelius on Twitter. And I'm learning how OBS works. So
That's okay. Lady Tiefling, who I was trying to mess with a little bit tonight. But all my efforts went towards Cornelius, so it worked great.
No worries. So I'm Lady Tiefling, at Lady Tiefling on Twitter and on Instagram. I make content for D&D, and that's about it for right now.
And you're followed by Brandon Cutler, the AEW wrestler.
Yeah, that's really important to me. I know exactly who that is.
It's important to me.
Well, I just found out because I saw the tweets that went kind of viral.
Right.
So I was like, oh, okay.
He's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
All right, and TP Grant.
All right. I'm Tom TP Grant. You can find me on Twitter at TP_Grant, and I tweet about grappling and real sport of violence, not entertainment sport of violence. Not a shot against pro wrestling, just not something I
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. You're allowed to take your shots.
No,
I get it.
I know a lot of people
You'll
in
just
that. I know a
regret
lot
it
of people
next
in that
week.
world. I'm not a shot against it. I only tweet about the live competition.
Hey, Chicago has a good wrestling scene, by the way. Has a very good independent wrestling scene. If you're ever interested. Anyways, I am Juce, master of the game. Obviously the host of this Twitch. I have a YouTube channel. It's easier to find it, JUCE734. Just search it and it'll come up on YouTube. You can find me on all the social media, and my username is different on almost every single one of them for various reasons. Stupid. Probably because I set them up individually rather than all at once, and had issues. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys will join us again next Wednesday. For the next couple weeks, we'll probably be doing it this way. I still got to order a new computer and things like that. But I will be hosting very soon in my game room, and I should have a hard line as of tomorrow. So next week I'll be in my game room and having my front door in the back. So so it's pretty exciting. But thanks again, guys. We really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun seeing some of your comments over there.
Yeah. Very
Game
fun.
on, guys.
Alrighty. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.